Chapter 556. Lin Fei had no idea how powerful true immortal alcohol intoxicated was. The items provided by the system shouldn't be unreliable, right? Lin Fei mused to himself. If true immortal alcohol intoxicated can get drunk, that would be perfect. This was a good way to deal with true immortal alcohol intoxicated. As for the others, that was a question worth considering. Celestial immortal alcohol intoxicated can be used against true immortal alcohol intoxicated. As for the next three, this was a rather complicated problem, and Lin Fei had no choice but to consider it carefully. How should true immortal flower fiend deal with this? Lin Fei wasn't very confident. Should he compete in picking up women? Needless to say, he was definitely no match for him. What should he compete in then? Could he compete in that area? Lin Fei quickly tossed this thought out of his head. He was too wretched. But how was he supposed to defeat true immortal flower fiend? If he had to deal with just one of them, Lin Fei wouldn't have to worry so much. But how should he deal with three of them? Lin Fei forced himself to calm down and think about how he should defeat them. How about this? Of the four of them, I'll beat two of them first. Then, I'll take my time with the other two. After thinking for a long time, Lin Fei finally came up with a plan. 1 against 4. Lin Fei wasn't very confident in his chances, but he could defeat them one by one. Lin Fei believed that if he was given enough time, he would definitely be able to come up with a way to deal with them. True immortal alcohol intoxicated already has a plan. As for the next three, which one should I choose? This is a question worth thinking about. True immortal flower fiend was hard to deal with, so he immediately rejected the idea. As for the next three, pot-bellied true immortal, alcohol invincible, true immortal. Between the two, Lin Fei had to choose one. How about the pot-bellied true immortal? Lin Fei considered it for a moment. This one was easier to deal with. Let's see if this shop has any way to deal with this pot-bellied true immortal. If Lin Fei wanted to defeat the pot-bellied true immortal in terms of eating, he would have to defeat him in terms of eating. The best way to do this was to cook a delicacy that would defeat him in terms of eating. But what kind of dish should he cook? This was a question worth pondering. Opening the system shop, Lin Fei opened the one related to ingredients. In the system, this was a relatively small market. Now, it was a great help to Lin Fei. So many ingredients. The system store sold a large number of ingredients, and the prices weren't expensive. Dragon meat, crystal dragon meat, fragrant and tender, 500,000 points. Looking at the price, Lin Fei vomited blood. Dragon meat is so cheap? However, thinking about it carefully, the system's coverage was very broad. This dragon meat might seem very precious in the eyes of others, but to the system, it might not be worth much. Phoenix Heart contains fire elemental energy, fresh and delicious meat, sold for 1 million points. Violent Interstellar Bear. Its meat is extremely pure, priced at 5 million points. Every single ingredient on the list dazzled Lin Fei. This was the first time he realized that there were so many ingredients in this store. He regretted looking at them. If he had known earlier, he would have eaten these things often and improved his physique to a powerful level. There are recipes. Apart from the ingredients, Lin Fei also saw a large number of recipes. In the past, he had done some research on recipes, but when he saw these recipes, those common recipes were simply not worth his time. I should choose a recipe, then cook an ingredient that he has never eaten before. There were many recipes, and the prices were very cheap. 3 Kingdoms Confrontation? Very soon, Lin Fei's eyes fell on a recipe. It was a very domineering name, and he knew it just by looking at the name. He carefully looked at the recipe. It turned out that the 3 Kingdoms Confrontation was made by cooking 3 kinds of overlord ingredients through a series of methods. After cooking, the 3 ingredients would transform into illusory shadows and constantly fight. This is the 3 Kingdoms Confrontation. Lin Fei confirmed the recipe. This recipe should be able to defeat the pot-bellied true immortal. No matter how rich the species in the Xiantian continent was, it was probably not as good as the ingredients in the system. Lin Fei really did not believe that the pot-bellied true immortal had eaten these ingredients before. 3 kinds of ingredients, a recipe, and a variety of other ingredients cost Lin Fei more than 8 million points. For someone as rich as him, it was nothing, including the tableware, the immortal intoxication, and a set of wine utensils. It was exactly 20 million points. In the space filled with birdsong and fragrant flowers. Old Qilian, your friend, won't admit defeat, will he? Wine Immortal laughed. Bullshit, Qilian snorted. There is no way Lin Fei will admit defeat. He always surprises me, and I believe this time will not disappoint me. Although he said so, in fact, Qilian was not confident in his heart. He was well aware of the extent to which his 4 good friends excelled in these 4 aspects. Anyone would feel powerless in front of them. This time it was a bit dangerous. In front of his 4 friends, Qilian naturally did not want to show any weakness. He had to at least maintain his face. This kid Lin Fei really knows how to surprise people. I believe you will know after spending some time with him, Shang Guanhong said. These words were indeed from the bottom of his heart. Surprise? That is interesting. True Immortal Flower Demon laughed. I really want to see what kind of surprise there is. He's back. The invincible True Immortal spoke. As expected, Lin Fei returned with a face full of smiles. I've made you all wait. I'm really sorry. There are so many of these things, but I don't know what to choose. Where did you hide your wine? Even I can't sense it. Wine Immortal had been drinking the whole time. He put down his cup and sniffed the surroundings. There is something special about it. Wine Immortal had always been very sensitive to wine. Even if it was hidden, he would be able to find it. It was just that amazing. But now, Wine Immortal had failed for the first time. He could not find the whereabouts of the wine. This had never happened before. Drunkard, did you bring too much wine? True Immortal Flower Demon looked startled. You have a nose of a drunkard. How can you not smell it? Invincible True Immortal was surprised as well. This was his first time hearing this. Did you not bring it? Lin Fei laughed inwardly. He hadn't taken out Celestial Immortal Inebriation yet, so of course he wouldn't be able to smell it. This was the system dimension. If he could sense it, that would be incredible. The Crimson Refined Heavenly Demon and Shang Guanhong were both surprised and then excited. This was a good sign. I brought the wine, Lin Fei said. However, can I say something first? Hurry up and say it. Wine Immortal was the most anxious of all. His anticipation for the wine was greater than anything else. You want me to fight against 4 of you in one day. You know how exhausting that is. I can only choose 2 of you, and I have 100% chance of defeating you. You have to defeat 2 of us. Before Lin Fei could finish speaking, Invincible True Immortal interrupted him. You sure talk big. Why don't we make a bet? A bet? Lin Fei was surprised, and then he was overjoyed. He had been conflicted about how to fight against Invincible True Immortal. Now it seemed like this was his chance. He hesitated. What? You don't dare? Invincible True Immortal saw his hesitation. If you can defeat 2 of us, then I'll consider this bet a loss. Lin Fei's blood rushed to his head. Who said I don't dare? I'll take this bet. Invincible True Immortal's side had started. Wine Immortal didn't object. In truth, he wanted to know who Lin Fei would choose to fight. Which 2 are you planning to choose? Invincible True Immortal was impatient. His personality was like this. Once a bet was made, he wouldn't sit still. He had to start immediately. Invincible, do you dare to open a bet? Qilian Heavenly Demon, who had been silent all this time, asked. Invincible True Immortal acted as if he had been injected with chicken blood. Of course, I'll open a bet. Could it be that you want to join in? Of course. Scarlet Refining Heavenly Demon laughed. Recently, I've been extremely poor. I want to make some money from you. No problem. Invincible True Immortal's eyes lit up. It was the joy of a gambler. What do you want to bet? The other three looked at this scene helplessly. This invincible old ghost, whenever he was involved in a bet, he would run off to God knows where. I want to compete with Wine Immortal Sr. and Potbelly Sr. Lin Fei said, That's good. Wine Immortal was very satisfied. Seeing that you chose me, I won't say it out loud. I'll give you some face. Lin Fei didn't know whether to laugh or cry. This Wine Immortal was quite interesting. Potbelly True Immortal laughed. Wine Immortal and I are the same. Since you chose me, I won't let you lose too badly. On the other hand, Flower Demon was startled. F***CK. Why didn't you choose me? It's too boring. Invincible True Immortal rolled his eyes. Who asked you to be so powerful? I'm a good kid. Competing with you is just courting death. You, Big Brother Lin, are you confident? Golden Phoenix asked worriedly. Don't worry. I won't admit defeat so easily, Lin Fei said. Brat, who do you want to choose first? Invincible True Immortal immediately agreed with Scarlet Refining Heavenly Demon. There's wine and delicious food. How about immortal delicacies and wine? Lin Fei thought for a moment and said, This order was immediately approved by everyone. First enjoy the food, then drink the wine. Everyone present would like this. The four great evildoers also had a certain interest in eating and drinking. Lin Fei's suggestion of this order was the most suitable. Lin Fei took out a silver-white cauldron. It looked strange, but it was actually a technological tableware. When he bought it, even he was shocked. This thing looks very strange. It should be a tableware, right? Potbelly True Immortal's eyes did not move, so he recognized it at a glance. Everyone make way. Everyone made a small space. Lin Fei pressed the red button, and a rectangular dining table appeared in front of him, as well as a series of tableware. Chapter 5:57. It was the first time for Lin Fei to see such a high-tech product. It was the best tool for camping. If he didn't use it, he could put it away without any trouble. Lin Fei put on a set of white chef's clothes and a high and mighty hat on his head. His entire aura and spirit changed. At this moment, Lin Fei didn't look like a powerhouse. Instead, he looked like a chef with an air of elegance. Foodie, why does this guy's clothes look so awkward? Invincible True Immortal nudged Potbellied True Immortal. Potbellied True Immortal didn't move his eyes. What do you know? You only know how to gamble. I told you to study hard. If I'm not wrong, this should be a chef's uniform. Invincible True Immortal and the others almost vomited blood. F***CK. What kind of explanation is that? Everyone knows it's a chef's uniform. Don't look so smug. This kid is really something. It turns out that he has to wear such a uniform before cooking. Only then will he look elegant. Potbellied True Immortal said with a look of understanding. I've learned something new this time. Then he put on a white chef's uniform. Lin Fei couldn't help but laugh. Fortunately, he didn't. Today, I'm cooking the 3 kingdoms, Lin Fei said. As long as Senior Potbellied can guess the ingredients I'll use, I'll admit defeat. Potbellied True Immortal laughed. That's easy. It's a good name. I just don't know if there are any ingredients. Don't use any ordinary ingredients. Otherwise, I'll recognize them at a glance. Lin Fei said confidently, I won't disappoint you, Senior. He took out a big wok and put the divine flame in it. Potbellied True Immortal was shocked when he saw the divine flame. This flame is so special. It looks like a heavenly unusual flame. No, it's not. Heavenly unusual flames aren't so overbearing. Why do I feel a dangerous aura from it? Could this be the legendary divine fire? Invincible True Immortal was very knowledgeable. When this thought popped up in his mind, he was also shocked. Lin Fei didn't pay any attention to him. He continued to immerse himself in the three kingdoms. It had to be said that after Lin Fei used this move, the expressions of the four great evils turned grave. This Brett really surprised them in every aspect. The three kingdoms formation was actually quite simple. He first put in the ingredients, which were all purchased from the system. After a certain amount of time, Lin Fei took out the red, violet, and black ingredients and placed them into the pot. Lin Fei was probably the only one who could use divine fire to cook dishes. "Foodie, did you see what I put in earlier?" True Immortal Wine asked. They were not good at identifying ingredients, so they could only ask the pot-bellied True Immortal. "You'll only know after eating it," the pot-bellied True Immortal replied discontentedly, his gaze turning back to the surface. "Lin Fei, he can cook?" Shang Guanhong asked Old Devil Qilian. "I don't know, but it looks pretty good." "How would the scarlet, refining, heavenly demon know? It smells really good. I really want to go up and have a bite." Soon, a fragrant aroma wafted out of the pot. This aroma tempted everyone like a glutton. The four great evils had really underestimated Lin Fei. The fact that he could cook such a fragrant dish had indeed surprised them. The pot-bellied True Immortal kept nagging. "This seems to be Shanzi flower, 6 banyan leaf." A bunch of names that no one could understand came out of his mouth. Boom! A loud roar reverberated in the space. "There are demonic beasts?" Everyone was shocked. This was an immortal artifact. How could there be demonic beasts? "Quick, look at the pot." At this moment, Lin Fei opened the lid of the pot, and 3 phantoms rushed out, instantly forming 3 unknown demonic beasts. They fought fiercely, attracting attention even if they did not want to. This is a battle between demonic beasts. What demonic beasts are these? Why haven't I seen them before? The 3 demonic beast phantoms were a bird, a giant bear, and a flying fish with wings. They were fighting intensely. Lin Fei was secretly delighted. These are peak-level demonic beasts. You guys probably don't know about them. At the very least, Lin Fei had never heard of these demonic beasts, nor had he seen them in any records. Most likely, they had never seen them before either. The 4 great evils stared at the 3 demonic beast phantoms with puzzled gazes. However, no matter how hard they tried, they could not recognize the names of the 3 demonic beasts. "Strange. Strange, this is too strange." True Immortal Flower Demon's eyes widened. "What kind of demonic beast have I not seen before? Why haven't I seen these 3 demonic beasts before? Could they be mutated demonic beasts?" An old monster who had lived for more than 1,000,000 years felt embarrassed when he could not recognize the origins of these 3 demonic beasts. He felt like he was bullying them. "Seniors, this is the 3 kingdoms confrontation. Everyone, let's try it." Actually, there was no need for Lin Fei to say it. Everyone wanted to try the taste of this pot of 3 nations confrontation. "I'll go first." The pot-bellied True Immortal thought to himself, "I don't believe that I can't recognize these demonic beasts." In the past, the pot-bellied True Immortal had even killed one of the top-tier demonic beasts on the continent. He did not believe that there was a delicacy that he had not tasted before. The pot-bellied True Immortal first made a bowl of soup for himself. He placed some meat slices in it and used divine fire to cook it. The meat slices were not difficult to cook and were very springy. After taking a bite, the pot-bellied True Immortal closed his eyes as if he wanted to eat the demonic beast's name. The pot-bellied True Immortal had an unforgettable ability. Anything that he had eaten or smelled, he would never forget. He would remember it completely. However, after taking a bite, he felt a mysterious sensation that he had never felt before. It was as if he was in the vast universe, and everyone else was the same. With such a delicacy before them, they naturally could not resist. After taking a bite, they were all immersed in it. "It's this delicious." Lin Fei was shocked when he saw this. He made a bowl for himself as well. Then he felt as if he was in the universe. The feeling of vastness was extremely realistic, as expected of space demonic beasts. Even their meat contains the aura of the universe. No wonder they have such expressions. Lin Fei immediately understood what was going on. Kid, you have killed space demonic beasts before. When Lin Fei came back to his senses, the pot-bellied true immortal had grabbed Lin Fei, looking as if he was going to eat him. The others also came back to their senses. They looked at Lin Fei with very strange gazes. They were not in a hurry as they continued to eat. These are all mine. No one is allowed to snatch them from me. Seeing them snatching the delicacies in the big pot, the pot-bellied true immortal was furious. He reached out and wanted to keep the whole pot. Foodie, how dare you? Snatch them. The 4 evildoers attacked one after another, fighting over the pot of delicacies. They always do this. Lin Fei could not help but ask as he was also chased out. The scarlet, refining, heavenly demon raised his hand. Kid, you are amazing. I didn't even know that you can cook good food. Where did you get this demonic beast? My divine sense actually improved. Lin Fei chuckled. It's a secret. Every time they attacked, the cauldron would fly around in their hands. Not a single drop of the cauldron splashed out. This was because they had perfect control over their power. Otherwise, with their strength, the cauldron would have been destroyed long ago. Haha, it is finally mine. The pot-bellied true immortal was the last to make a move. He waved his hand and kept the big pot. The other 3 evildoers were furious. Foodie, how dare you keep it for yourself? I will make you suffer in the future. This is cooked by Lin Fei for me. It belongs to me. The pot-bellied true immortal was very shameless. This time I lost. I didn't expect that you could even get the ingredients of star beasts. I really admire you. If there was an ingredient that he had never eaten before, the pot-bellied true immortal dared to say that the star beasts that ran amok in the universe were the most delicious. However, each of these star beasts was very powerful. It was very difficult to catch one. Until now, the number of star beasts that the pot-bellied true immortal had tasted were very few, let alone this kind of star beast. Lin Fei really admired this pot-bellied true immortal. He could even recognize a star beast. Most people wouldn't know that this was a star beast. At most, they would think that it was a monster beast. Kid, where's your wine? The pot-bellied true immortal hurriedly said to Lin Fei. He had been stimulated and couldn't help but look forward to the final wine. Everyone's eyes lit up. Lin Fei relied on the ingredients to make the pot-bellied true immortal admit defeat. This was very rare. It was completely beyond their imagination. Thus, the wine immediately attracted their attention. Lin Fei took out the wine from his spatial ring. However, he had just taken it out when he felt a shadow flash before him. The jade bottle in his hand disappeared. When he looked again, it had landed in the pot-bellied true immortal's hand. No fragrance. The pot-bellied true immortal uncorked the bottle and frowned. This doesn't make sense. Why does this wine not have any fragrance? Are you trying to fool me? Lin Fei was speechless. The system wouldn't play a joke on me, right? This is wine. It's the real deal. Lin Fei hurriedly explained. The pot-bellied true immortal was clearly suspicious. Really? Why don't you try it first? Previously, the food cooked by Lin Fei had been so captivating. This wine did not have the fragrance he had imagined. This was indeed beyond the pot-bellied true immortal's expectations. Just a sip will do. Before Lin Fei could say this, the pot-bellied true immortal gulped it down. No matter how Lin Fei looked at it, this mouthful was definitely more than that. So fragrant, the pot-bellied true immortal's eyes lit up. My head. Then everyone saw the pot-bellied true immortal collapse onto the grass, snoring loudly. He's drunk? Everyone was dumbfounded. How could a pot-bellied true immortal get drunk? How was this possible? He wouldn't get drunk even after 1,000 cups. There didn't seem to be any wine on this continent that could make a pot-bellied, true, immortal drunk. I'll have a sip too. Don't snatch it. In less than a moment, everyone had drunk a mouthful. Then they collapsed onto the ground one after another. You didn't drug this wine, right? Lin Fei rolled his eyes. Do you think that I have such a powerful drug on me? Why don't you try it? The Scarlet Demon hesitated. I'll drink a little. However, with that, the Scarlet Demon also collapsed onto the ground. He was drunk. All of you are drunk. Shangguan Hong had never seen such a thing before. At their realm, there was still wine that could get them drunk. What wine is this? Why is it so powerful? Lin Fei was also dumbfounded. This heavenly immortal intoxication was too domineering, wasn't it? Chapter 558. What kind of wine is this? This was the first thing they said after they woke up from immortal intoxication. It was already noon, 3 days later. The four fiends had tasted all kinds of wine. But 3 days ago, they got drunk from just one sip. Only then did they realize that there was such a magical wine in this world. They were all high-level loose immortals, and they had never gotten drunk before in their lives. The only thing they did not expect was that they were completely drunk this time. Most importantly, they only took a small sip, and they could not even resist it. That kind of tyrannical drunkenness made them collapse in an instant. It was really too tyrannical. So when they woke up, the first thing they did was run over to ask. Immortal intoxication. Lin Fei said the name of this wine. The four fiends sighed. This name is really good. It's ordinary, but after drinking it, it will overflow the sky. Even a celestial immortal would get drunk from it. There were at least a few wines that could make them comment together. Lin Fei, I accept my defeat wholeheartedly. The wine immortal was very straightforward. Ever since I became known as the wine immortal, I have never gotten drunk. This is the first time I have gotten drunk. I don't care where you got this heavenly immortal intoxication from. I admit defeat. Wine immortal intoxication was not lazy to be able to make this kind of wine. However, you must give me a bottle of this wine every month. Wine immortal intoxication said, the taste of getting drunk is really good. I also admit defeat. Invincible true immortal said, however, I also want a bottle every month or else. Damn, you are the four fiends. How can you extort people like this? One bottle of immortal intoxication was worth 5 million points. 4 bottles would be 20 million points, and 1 year would be more than 200 million points. Wasn't it obvious that he was going to eat himself poor? This is extortion. Lin Fei smiled bitterly. I can't do it even if you want me to. What's so troublesome about this? Just tell us what materials you need. We will help you find them. Wine immortal intoxication said with dissatisfaction. There is really nothing in this continent that we cannot find. Lin Fei said in an aggrieved tone, the ingredients for immortal intoxication are very difficult to find, and refining it is also very troublesome. I really can't make 1 bottle a month. The 4 great evils were all people who loved wine. The heavenly immortal drunk wine was probably the only one in the continent. It might not be found elsewhere, at their cultivation realm. Even if they did not use genuine, with their huge physiques, they would not be able to get drunk. It was rare for such fine wine to appear, so they did not hesitate to extort it. If it had been someone else, they would have done it themselves instead of asking so kindly. Lin Fei hoped that there was something they liked. As long as there was something they liked, everything would be fine. For experts of this realm, there weren't many things they cared about. There really weren't many. At most, I can give you 4 bottles of immortal intoxication a year. Lin Fei thought for a while and said, he had originally planned to wait for 10 years, but then he thought that it would not be good if it was too long. 4 bottles of immortal intoxication a year would only be worth 20 million points. With their help, earning this amount of points would be a piece of cake. 4 bottles a year is too little. True immortal intoxication blinked. How about this? When the time comes, give us a chance to enjoy a delicious meal. It has to be top-grade ingredients. No, one for each of us. That's 4 times. Lin Fei smiled bitterly. What kind of people was he trying to recruit? In truth, Lin Fei was very excited. 30 to 40 million points a year in exchange for 4 high-level loose immortals? This sort of recruitment was simply too cheap. You're trying to kill me, Lin Fei complained. In any case, we've already spoken. You have to agree to our request, no matter what. Invincible True Immortal said. How about this? I'll help you destroy one of the major powers in Nifa's paradise. Do you want to kill them all or capture them alive? There was no need to doubt these words coming from the mouth of the 4 great evils. They were strong enough to destroy a power easily. If you want to destroy a power, we'll help you, True Immortal Flower Demon said. There were very few people who could make them take the initiative to ask for help. It could be said that Lin Fei was taking a huge advantage of them. Ordinary people wouldn't even think about it. Let's go out and destroy a power. Pot-bellied True Immortal tore through space and left. Wait for me. In an instant, the remaining 3 evils chased after him, disappearing without a trace. Bloodhand. Lin Fei hastily summoned Bloodhand. When Bloodhand arrived, Lin Fei immediately gave the order. Immediately bring experts and arrange for scouts. If something happens to that power, immediately bring people to deal with it. Understood. Once Bloodhand left, the scarlet refined heavenly demon staggered out. After drinking a small mouthful of immortal intoxication, he passed out. They went out. They didn't go out. They want to let me know their strength. Lin Fei smiled bitterly. Then they'll extort a fortune from me. Qi Lian, heavenly demon, rolled his eyes and said, just laugh. The fact that the 4 great evildoers are willing to help you is something that many people would be envious of. They might not even help even if they offered a high price. This time, Big Brother has helped you so much. You should at least give me some immortal wine. Great, yet another one fell in love. No problem. Immortal intoxication cost several million points per bottle. Lin Fei didn't really care. He thought to himself, immortal intoxication is so powerful. It seems I can try other wines in the future. In the system, immortal intoxication was not the most powerful. There were even better wines. Those wines were probably not ordinary. 15 minutes later, the 4 great evils returned once more. 10 odd loose immortals appeared in the hall. All of their auras were suppressed, and their faces were filled with fear. Lin Fei, we've captured all the upper echelon elders of this heaven-shrouding faction. As for the remaining small fries, you can arrange for your men to deal with them. Lin Fei secretly took a deep breath. This heaven-shrouding faction was one of the major factions. It was said that they had high-level loose immortals. Who would have thought that in less than 15 minutes, all the upper echelon members of heaven-shrouding faction would be captured? Killing a person was easy, but capturing them was very difficult. One must use absolute strength to suppress the other party in order to capture them. Seniors, you are too ferocious. It's just a gang of high-level loose immortals. From our point of view, destroying them will be a piece of cake. True Immortal Wine disagreed. From now on, you can just treat us as your consecrators. If you can give us a bottle of immortal intoxication now, that would be the best. The upper echelon members of Heaven-shrouding faction were all dumbfounded. The mythological tower was so powerful, they sent out 4 high-level loose immortals at once. No problem. Lin Fei was in a good mood. He bought 5 bottles of immortal intoxication and gave one to each of them. This is this year's supply. I can't take any more. It's okay. Don't disturb us. The 4 left. Lin Fei controlled the celestial artifact and knew that they had chosen a space. Big Brother, Scarlet Serpent, this is yours. Lin Fei took out the last bottle. Keep it well. Don't let them find out. If not, Scarlet Serpent Sky Demon kept it immediately. You can have this high-level loose immortal. I'll take the rest. Lin Fei knew that if Scarlet Serpent Sky Demon wanted to increase his strength, he had to devour experts to quickly recover his energy. Go ahead and take them. Lin Fei didn't have any objections to this. Scarlet Serpent Sky Demon waved his hand and brought the upper echelon members away. Only the leader of Heaven Shrouding Faction was left. Don't kill me. I can tell you a secret. They are targeting you. Heaven Shrouding Faction panicked. As long as you let me go. You are in my hands. You have no right to bargain. Lin Fei said calmly. You have to swear to the heavens. Otherwise, I won't tell you. Heaven Shrouding Faction seemed to know that this was his only chance. Do you really think that you are smart? Lin Fei snorted coldly. He used the soul-searching technique. His divine sense was stronger than his opponent's. He forcefully looked through his memories. Then, Heaven Shrouding Faction lost his mind. You want me to swear to the heavens. You really think too highly of yourself. Lin Fei collected the other party and tossed him into the heaven and earth smelt, where he turned into waves of true energy and immortal power. You want to set a trap for me? I can catch all of you at once. From the soul-searching memories, Lin Fei knew that Heaven Shrouding Faction and Sin Paradise had held a secret meeting. They were prepared to eat up the Myth Tower. Their plan was simple. They wanted to use a trap to invite him over. Then they would kill him with lightning speed. The Myth Tower would use a sneak attack to catch him off guard. It was a simple plan, but it was very useful. I thought that I was being secretive. Who would have thought that they would be able to find out? Lin Fei was slightly startled in his heart. However, this is good as well. Since you all want to hold a feast at Hongmen, I can take care of all of you in one fell swoop. However, I wonder if anyone knew that the 4 great evildoers attacked earlier? Lin Fei thought about it and felt that the possibility of that was not very high. Be it divine abilities or other aspects, the 4 great loose immortals were top-notch. How could others know about them? 2 hours later, his subordinates brought back news that the entire Heaven Shrouding Faction had been eaten by the Myth Tower. After killing some of the rebels, the rest surrendered and were unwilling to continue fighting. The news that the Heaven Shrouding Faction had been easily eaten by the Myth Tower caused an uproar in Sin Paradise. No one had expected that the Heaven Shrouding Faction would be defeated so quickly and so thoroughly. Most importantly, they had been paying attention to the Myth Tower. They had no idea that they would suddenly attack. Another suspicion was that the higher-ups and leader of the Heaven Shrouding Faction had all disappeared. Without anyone to lead them, they had lost completely. Thus, the Myth Tower had eaten them. Everyone thought that the Myth Tower would rest for a while. Who would have thought that they would bare their fangs again so quickly and eat the Heaven Shrouding Faction? Chapter 559. P.S. 10 chapters completed. It's very tiring. This is also the first time I've done 10 chapters in a row. I hope I'll have more opportunities in the future. I'll also ask for a few monthly tickets. Lin Fei originally thought that these large factions would invite him to their Hongmen banquet a few days later. But on the morning of the 3rd day after the Heaven Shrouding Gang was destroyed, someone who claimed to be an emissary personally delivered an invitation. It seems like they can't sit still anymore. In the hall, the Scarlet Refined Sky Demon played with the invitation in his hand. They definitely don't know that Heaven Shrouding Sage is already dead and those higher-ups are in our hands. They're betting on us not knowing the inside story, but it's a pity that they've misunderstood. Lin Fei had already told the Scarlet Refined Sky Demon and Shangguan Hong about the Hongmen banquet. Therefore, in their imagination, it was not surprising that they had sent the invitation letter. If they had not sent it, it would have been the strangest thing. They're desperate. Heaven Shrouding Gang was destroyed. They can't wait to get rid of us. Shangguan Hong smiled. They took the initiative to invite Lin Fei this time to catch us off guard. If I'm not wrong, The higher-ups of Sin Paradise definitely don't want us to grow too big and affect their control. When the time comes, they won't be able to deal with us, so they can only use this method to deal with us. Sin Paradise seemed to be filled with large factions, but in reality, there were shadows of the higher-ups of Sin Paradise behind them, who knew which faction might have the support of the higher-ups. The rise of the Myth Tower first got rid of many mid-tier factions, then quickly got rid of Xi Treasure Tower, becoming a large faction in an instant. This step was a bit big, and not long after, they also got rid of the Heaven Shrouding Gang. This was the beginning of the signs. The higher-ups of Sin Paradise weren't happy, so they used other big shots to invite him, wanting to get rid of the Myth Tower. No matter where they went, they wouldn't let others talk about them. Let's eat up these factions first, and see if they can still hold on. The Scarlet Refined Sky Demon sneered. They had methods to deal with immortals in the past, but now it's just an empty title to scare ordinary people. The Scarlet Refined Sky Demon didn't believe that Sin Paradise had such tyrannical existences. He might have believed it 1,000,000 years ago, but he definitely wouldn't believe it now. We have to be careful, Lin Fei said. Experts of that level will not come out. At most, they will send high-level loose immortals. With the 4 fiends present, we should be able to resist them for a while. Lin Fei estimated the strength of the 4 to be around 8 Tribulation scattered immortals. For Tribulation scattered immortals was very strong. For Tribulation scattered immortals. For Tribulation scattered immortals. Could even 1/9 Tribulation scattered immortal to them. We'll eat them first, Shang Guanhong said. But they'll definitely stop you from bringing people in. No. Tian. Lin, I'll take it. Bit. Bye. I. The heaven and earth smelt belongs to another space, and it's under Lin Fei's control. Even if the other party has a powerful Xiantian spiritual treasure or an immortal equipment, they can forget about finding it. 3. Tian. A saint-level demonic beast carriage appeared in front of the mythological tower. Lin Fei had long since made preparations. After coming out of the Myth Tower, all of them knew of his existence. As such, there was no need for him to conceal himself. If he were to kill them tonight, no one would know about it. Please get in the car. Lin Fei strode into the carriage and sat firmly in it. Aren't you bringing any attendants? The man asked. This is Sin Paradise. Isn't it just a banquet? Are you going to eat me? Lin Fei said with a look of disdain. That person laughed dryly and sat in the carriage. A look of joy quickly appeared in his eyes. Lin Fei was sitting in the carriage and saw everything. I didn't bring any attendants, which is exactly what you want. I also pretended to be the king. I don't believe that you won't let your guard down. This result was exactly what Lin Fei wanted. Very soon, the carriage stopped in front of a mansion. Other than himself, Lin Fei realized that not only did they invite him to the banquet, but they also invited everyone else. Are they planning to make an example out of me? Lin Fei could tell with a single glance. Otherwise, they wouldn't have invited so many leaders to kill him. This was to warn those ambitious leaders that if they were too ambitious, their outcome would be tragic. Young Master Lin, we have arrived. You can come down now. After getting off the carriage, Lin Fei used his powerful divine sense to scan the entire mansion. He laughed coldly in his heart. So many experts are lying in ambush. Looks like you guys are really going all out to kill me. It's a pity that you guys will be the ones regretting it. There were many experts lying in ambush in the mansion. They were well hidden and had formations set up on them. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to see through them and would be able to deal a huge blow at a crucial moment. If it was in the past, Lin Fei wouldn't have dared to use his divine sense to scan the mansion. Now that he had a new understanding of divine sense, he could silently scan every corner of the mansion. When he walked past a doorstep, Lin Fei discovered the person leading the way. A look of joy flashed in his eyes. After checking with his divine sense, Lin Fei immediately knew what was going on. They really used celestial artifacts to check if I'm carrying Senfu or something like that. It's a pity that you guys didn't expect that I have the divine flame space. A mere celestial artifact is nothing to me. At their level, immortal residences and the like were not very expensive. Many people could afford them. Carrying an immortal residence with them and leading a large number of subordinates was something that leaders liked to do. In fact, there was indeed a support celestial artifact on the doorstep that could check if someone was carrying Senfu. The person leading the way was naturally happy that Lin Fei didn't bring Senfu with him. He immediately spread the news through a secret channel. In a space under the mansion, a few people were sitting together, anxiously waiting for news. Lin Fei didn't bring any servants. Hearing this news, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. The result was different from what they had expected. Could he have brought Senfu with him? It should be possible. Lin Fei was able to leave sinful paradise back then, so he should be a very cautious person. Don't be careless and fall into his trap. When the second news came, they were all surprised. Lin Fei didn't bring Senfu with him? When this news came, everyone was quite surprised. Lin Fei, the person in charge of the mythological tower, didn't bring Senfu or servants with him. Did he really not know that they had set up an ambush? This was a very unexpected result. Before, they had thought that Lin Fei would at least bring servants. No matter who came to the banquet, they would bring servants. But now he didn't bring any servants, nor did he bring Senfu with him. Wasn't he thinking too highly of himself? This Lin Fei is too arrogant. He must think that we don't dare to do anything to him. He's too bold. He doesn't take us seriously at all. Sage, shrouding the heavens, shouldn't have fallen into Lin Fei's hands. Otherwise, he wouldn't have dared to come alone. I wonder where Sage, shrouding the heavens, and the others went. We've arranged experts in the mansion, and we've even sent out high-level bodiless immortals. We must capture Lin Fei in one fell swoop. This time, Lin Fei won't be able to escape even if he has wings. He dared to come to the banquet without his servants. He's courting death. He wants to provoke us, and this is exactly what he wants. Lin Fei must die. Otherwise, we might become the next heaven-shrouding sect. The few big shots in the underground space quickly stood up. Since the main character of the show was on the stage, they naturally had to go on the stage as well. They casually checked, in case Lin Fei really brought Senfu with him. That wouldn't be easy to deal with. This matter was very important, so they had to be careful. They knew what happened when Lin Fei left last time. So many people went to chase him, but in the end, they returned empty-handed. When he returned a year later, Sage Ji Bao was killed and the celestial artifact was in his hands. This action was too fast, so fast that they couldn't react. The other party took over Ji Bao Tower and obtained the celestial artifact. Losing the biggest auction house, Ji Bao Tower had a big impact on these big factions. In the past, when Ji Bao Tower was still around, many of their things were handed over to Ji Bao Tower for auction. They worked together very well and became partners. But after Ji Bao Tower was destroyed, they were stuck in this aspect. The Myth Tower didn't care about them. An existence that could destroy Ji Bao Tower wasn't something that people would dislike. The Myth Tower controlled Ji Bao Tower's celestial artifact, so the interior hadn't changed. It was very tight, so it had always been very popular. For those who often participated in auctions, there wasn't much of a change. It was just a change of owner. But for the other big factions, the items they had couldn't be auctioned, so the impact was huge. As the saying went, cutting off one's wealth was equivalent to killing one's parents. No one could take this lying down. They also had auction houses under them. But compared to the Myth Tower, they were far inferior. They weren't on the same level. In the end, they suffered. They could only watch helplessly as their items couldn't be auctioned, causing a large number of losses. This time, they joined forces to occupy this Myth Tower. With them controlling it together, they wouldn't have to worry about this kind of change happening again. The few factions joined forces and everyone advanced and retreated together. This kind of situation where they were choked by others wouldn't happen again. Tonight, Lin Fei had to die. No matter what, he couldn't leave here alive. As long as Lin Fei died, the backup plan that they had set up could be implemented. There were experts in the mansion, and with them personally taking action. Even if Lin Fei was unparalleled, he would have to die in the underworld. They had Lin Fei in their hands. Chapter 560. When Lin Fei walked into the hall, he immediately attracted the attention of many people. Because he was too young, it was impossible for him not to attract attention. Everyone present was old, and there were very few people as young as Lin Fei. Some people mistook him for a young master of a gang. Then a series of questions popped up in their minds. Was a young master of a gang worthy of such politeness? Lin Fei. No one knew much about this name, but when another name was mentioned, their expressions changed. It was as if they had encountered a peerless demon king. Their eyes were filled with a rare fear that came from the bottom of their hearts. The leader of the mythological tower. The predecessor of the Bloody Hand Hall? One had to say that the mythological tower and the Bloody Hand Hall, no matter which name, brought them endless fear. There was no need to say more about the mythological tower. The entire heaven-covering gang had fallen, and the higher-ups were nowhere to be found. The Bloody Hand Hall had gotten rid of the treasure tower and snatched their immortal artifact. Who would have thought that the person behind the scenes would be so young? No one would have thought. Lin Fei, isn't he the one who carried the treasure map of the secret heaven treasure vault last year? Someone suddenly mentioned this. Everyone suddenly thought of a name. No one who was invited tonight was a fool. Thinking back to what happened a year ago, it was a very sensational event. So it was him. Those who wanted to go up and strike up a conversation chose to remain silent. The leader of the mythological tower. Recently, Paradise had been speculating about the person behind the scenes, and he was an opponent in the eyes of many major forces. A young man with great ambitions. Currently, all the forces in Paradise were wary of the mythological tower, fearing that they would be eaten up by the other party. They were quite xenophobic. Some smart people seemed to understand the true purpose of this banquet. Don't look down on the intelligence of others. They might not know it a moment ago, but when they heard that Lin Fei was the person behind the scenes, the nature of the banquet naturally changed. Lin Fei did not care about the gloating in their eyes. These big shots had good methods, but it was a pity that they had misjudged him. Now that I've pointed out my identity, those big shots should be coming out soon. Lin Fei casually sat down. No one dared to appear nearby, so he was happy. Otherwise, this show won't continue. As expected, after the news of Lin Fei's identity spread, the supporting cast all went on stage. There were more than 10 major factions in Paradise, and 7 or 8 of them had gathered here. The moment the big shots appeared, they were dignified and imposing. They were like lions, causing people to feel the urge to worship them and not dare to resist them. The entire hall instantly quietened down. 5 high-level loose immortals and 3 mid-level loose immortals. What a feast at Hung Men! Lin Fei concluded that if he did not have the help of the 4 evil men, these powerhouses might have eaten him up once they made a move. Lin Fei estimated that there were at least 10 high-level loose immortals and countless mid-level loose immortals. They were the elites of the elites. Welcome to tonight's banquet. It was the Bright Moon faction's leader, Reverend Shuiwe. She was a woman, and her expressionless face revealed a rare smile. In the eyes of the crowd, this smile was extremely cold, so cold that it chilled their hearts. Before tonight's banquet begins, this Reverend wants to introduce a junior. Perhaps everyone doesn't know him, but I believe everyone will know him soon. Reverend Shuiwe's gaze shifted. He is the one who recently destroyed the treasure tower and the heaven-shrouding faction, Lin Fei. Kill him with a stick? Attract hatred? Lin Fei felt disdain. They wanted to raise his status and then suppress him. Good plan, good plan. From the moment they appeared, 8 tyrannical auras locked onto Lin Fei. Their gazes were like prey in the mouth of a lion, prey in a spider's web, unable to escape even if it had wings. Many people were still guessing before, but after hearing this, fear, jealousy, and hatred shot out from their eyes. Although it was very vague, it could still be detected. Actually, you don't have to go through so much trouble. Lin Fei smiled and stood up. He could clearly feel the emotional fluctuations of these 8 big shots. Isn't it just a banquet? Why hold it especially for me? This will make me feel embarrassed. How will everyone look favorably upon me? It's better to hold such banquets, less in the future. The 8 big shots were shocked, and anger flashed through their hearts. They were inadvertently teased by Lin Fei. Just now, they were really worried that Lin Fei had sensed their intentions and wanted to force them to make a move. They could suppress the other party on the surface, but in private, all kinds of gossip would undoubtedly affect their reputation. This Lin Fei was really sinister. The 8 big shots cursed in their hearts. Uft! Someone couldn't help but laugh. In front of these 8 big shots, Lin Fei of the Myth Tower still dared to put on airs. He clearly didn't take these 8 big shots seriously, but they didn't see any change in the 8 big shots' expressions. It seemed like they didn't take it seriously. What was this? Didn't they say that they had always been enemies? Many people couldn't understand it. A hint of anger flashed on Venerable Shuyue's face, but she soon returned to normal. It was so fast that it was hard for others to notice. Tower Lord Lin, you're a straightforward person. As a newly promoted major faction, this banquet is indeed prepared for you. There's no need to put in much effort. Your myth tower has used its strength to prove itself. Everyone can see that. But in their hearts, they were saying that this was a banquet set up for Lin Fei to die. Venerable Shuyue's killing intent had been aroused because of Lin Fei's words, but she concealed it very well. All right, I like this banquet. Lin Fei smiled and said, to be honest, I'm very excited that all the big shots are here to welcome me. I believe that we'll definitely have many opportunities to cooperate in the future. Cooperate, my A** guess. Only a ghost would want to cooperate with you. Everyone cursed in their hearts. Lin Fei knew what they were thinking, so he wouldn't let them feel good. When he saw everyone present, a thought suddenly popped into his mind. It would definitely anger them to death. Tower Lord Lin, I like what you said. We should cooperate well. At this moment, another big shot spoke. Lin Fei knew that this big shot was called Tushan Jinren. If there's any cooperation, you can find me. We can get to know each other better. Lin Fei heard endless resentment from his words. Why was Tushan Jinren so resentful? In fact, he controlled an auction house and auctioned all kinds of things. At the same time, he had connections with the Supreme Treasure Tower. However, after the Supreme Treasure Tower was destroyed, Tushan Jinren's auction house wasn't in a good situation. A large number of items couldn't be auctioned and were squeezed into piles. On the surface, Tushan Jinren said that he wanted to cooperate with Lin Fei, but in fact he wished that Lin Fei would die as soon as possible so that he could divide the profits. Otherwise, if this continued, it would be very disadvantageous to the faction. Naturally, he wouldn't show it on his face. I like cooperation. Lin Fei acted as if he didn't hear it. Since everyone is here, I happen to have something in my hands. I was planning to auction it, but since everyone is here, if Tushan Jinren doesn't mind, I'm willing to share it with everyone. Tushan Jinren's expression slightly changed. What a jinx! What did I say just now? But soon he recovered. The 8 powerful figures didn't have any objections. Lin Fei was already like a turtle in a jar, and they didn't need to worry about where he could run to. They wanted to see how powerful this Lin Fei, who could rise up so quickly, could be. Tower Master Lin, since you have something good to share, why would we mind? Tushan Jinren smiled and said, I think you all have the same idea. How could the others refute Tushan Jinren's words? In fact, They also wanted to see what good things this Lin Fei could take out. Lin Fei took out something here on a whim. The 8 powerful figures were going to be destroyed anyway, so it was meaningless to just destroy them. Therefore, he might as well promote his own things. The things that Lin Fei was promoting were naturally the treasures in the system store. Many of them were nothing to Lin Fei, but to outsiders, these were definitely good things. As for why he wanted to take them out, it was to expand the influence of the Legend Tower. In fact, it was equivalent to increasing the sect's prestige. Originally, Lin Fei didn't care too much about it, but since he could exchange his sect's prestige for points, he was naturally willing to do such a good thing. Not only could he increase his sect's prestige, but he could also exchange it for points. Only a fool would refuse. There were many good things in the system store, and the prices weren't high either. For example, medicinal pills and so on. These medicinal pills were useless to Lin Fei, but to others, they were definitely very useful. They could be said to be extremely rare. With such a good opportunity, Lin Fei would definitely make use of it and publicize it. In any case, they believed that he wouldn't be able to escape from Lin Fei's grasp. Lin Fei was happy to see that this was a ready-made opportunity that he had carefully prepared for himself. He wanted them to lift a rock only to hit their own feet. In truth, they also didn't believe that Lin Fei could take out anything good. In any case, it was still early, and they weren't in a hurry to deal with him. Using their gaze of victory to look at a defeated person was a feeling that they wouldn't be able to experience normally. Lin Fei strode up to a high platform that was 1 level higher than everyone else. Facing the crowd, he said indifferently, "Everyone should know me." Originally, these items were prepared for the auction in a month's time. However, after seeing seniors being so courteous and setting up a welcoming banquet for me, I felt apologetic in my heart. Therefore, I made a last-minute decision to use the good items for the auction here to let everyone get to know me. When he said that, everyone's interest was piqued. The auction that the Legend Tower was preparing for a month's time, they were all at a loss. Was there such a thing? An auction that was meticulously prepared definitely wouldn't be a small-scale auction. The treasures that could be used as the finale must be extremely precious, right? The expressions of the 8 big shots changed slightly. They rejoiced inwardly. They had set up this hongmen banquet and invited Lin Fei over. Otherwise, if the auction was successfully held a month later, it would be a huge blow to them. With a thought, they also wanted to understand what treasures the Legend Tower was going to put out. The greater the influence of the Legend Tower, the more worried they were. Everyone must be guessing what the Legend Tower is going to put out. Immortal equipment? Battle armor? Lin Fei shook his head. I'm sure that everyone won't feel at ease holding these items in their hands. Therefore, we won't be auctioning these items. Everyone thought about it and felt that Lin Fei's words made sense. Even though they were somewhat fearful of Lin Fei, it didn't mean that they wouldn't give up on certain things. Our Sin Paradise emphasizes strength. Therefore, the items that the Legend Tower is going to auction are the elixirs that everyone has been paying attention to. Lin Fei revealed his objective. The classification of elixirs was actually the same as realms. Starting from profound grade elixirs, there were spirit grade elixirs, king grade elixirs, imperial grade elixirs, ancestor grade elixirs, exalted grade elixirs, saint grade elixirs, and regal grade elixirs. Chapter 561. No one was surprised to hear that Lin Fei wanted to promote elixirs. Elixirs were very popular in Sin Paradise. After all, this place often had all kinds of battles, so elixirs were highly valued. Healing elixirs, strength-enhancing elixirs, all kinds of elixirs were very popular. Moreover, Sin Paradise was a place where all kinds of illegal goods ran rampant. Elixirs were also very popular. Many forces secretly set up branches in Sin Paradise to purchase all kinds of elixirs. Elixir? I wonder what kind of elixir Lin Fei will take out. It should be a supreme grade elixir, right? Because this elixir is the most popular. I think it should be a Grandmaster grade elixir, or Saint grade elixir. As for an Emperor grade elixir, it's not very likely. many people began to discuss. Elixirs had always been indispensable in the eyes of forces of all sizes. Recruiting subordinates required elixirs and true essence crystals. Both were indispensable. Otherwise, they wouldn't be willing to work for you. Since Lin Fei was selling elixirs, they were naturally very concerned. Although they were enemies, they didn't hate elixirs. As long as the elixir was good and the price was reasonable, they would buy it. No matter who it was, they would make the same choice. There wouldn't be too much of an accident. Tushan enlightened. What do you think this Lin Fei is doing? A big shot asked. Who cares what he's doing? Tushan enlightened didn't care. In any case, this kid Lin Fei is working for nothing. In the end, it's still us who benefit. That's right, Lin Fei is helping us. Enlightened Shuewa sneered. I really wonder how this Lin Fei can get rid of the treasure tower and the heaven shrouding gang. Lin Fei saw the expressions on everyone's faces. This was exactly what he had hoped would happen. Humph, you'll find out soon enough. Everything I've done today will be for nothing. Instead, I'll be able to increase my sect's prestige. Lin Fei sneered in his heart. How could he not know what they were thinking? Everyone must be very curious to know what kind of medicinal pill our mythology tower is auctioning. Lin Fei first dropped the crowd's appetite. Now, I'll tell everyone that there are a total of 3 types of elixirs in this auction. I believe that every one of them is suitable for all of you. I believe that other than our mythology tower, no one else can refine these elixirs. So awesome! Many people had a question mark in their hearts. What kind of pill was so powerful that no one else could refine it? Could it be the legendary lost pill formula? Other than this explanation, there seemed to be no pill that could not be refined. In the Xiantian continent, alchemy was rampant, and there were countless different types of alchemy. As long as the effects were similar, sooner or later someone would be able to decipher it. It could be said that there were very few unique alchemy in the continent. Of course, the higher the grade of the pill, the harder it was to decipher. All in all, there was practically no one who could decipher a saint-grade medicinal pill. That was because every single one of these medicinal pills were concocted by their own sect, and the pill formulas were also in their hands. Normally, outsiders wouldn't be able to concoct them. Aside from that, there were also lost ancient pill formulas. The various sects had declined, resulting in the appearance of certain pill formulas. Every single pill formula required special ingredients to be concocted, and the effects were quite astonishing. It was no wonder that they would think this way. When they heard that there were 3 types of medicinal pills up for auction, they couldn't help but feel surprised. The first pill will be useful to anyone. We call it the blood replenishing pill. Lin Fei said, this blood replenishing pill doesn't have a grade yet, but its effects are comparable to a saint-grade pill. No matter what kind of injury you suffer, as long as you consume the blood replenishing pill, you will be able to quickly recover. What? A blood replenishing pill comparable to a saint-grade pill? Is it really that miraculous? This blood replenishing pill has such a good name. I wonder if its effects are like that? If it really is that miraculous, it will definitely be the most powerful healing pill below the Emperor grade. When they heard that the first pill Lin Fei was going to concoct was a healing pill, everyone's eyes lit up. Nephis Paradise was a place with many sections. From time to time, battles would break out, and it was hard to guarantee that no one would be injured. Almost everyone had a healing pill on them to help them recover. The quality of the healing pill was extremely important. A good healing pill would allow one to recover from injuries quickly and regain their battle prowess. Without a doubt, they would be able to obtain victory or survive. If the healing pill was bad, others could easily kill you. It was just that simple. Tower Lord Lin, are your healing pills really as miraculous as you say? One of the leaders of the sects couldn't help but ask. That's simple. Lin Fei smiled. If it was under normal circumstances, I wouldn't show it here. But on account of the seniors here, I'll let you all gain some knowledge. Lin Fei appeared in front of a young man and struck him with his palm. The young man spat out blood and was on the verge of death. Everyone, have you seen it clearly? There was no change in the crowd. The young man had suffered heavy injuries. If he wanted to recover, he would need around half a month to recuperate. His injuries will require around half a month, but if he consumes our blood replenishing pill, he will be able to recover around 70% of his battle prowess within the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. Lin Fei said proudly. What? 70% of his battle prowess within the time it takes for an incense stick to burn? Impossible. It's definitely impossible. Many people didn't believe it. Right now, the healing pills on the market didn't have such an effect. They really didn't believe it when they heard that there was a pill of this level. If this kind of injury could recover 70% of one's battle prowess, that would definitely be a huge surprise. They couldn't help but be surprised. Usually, healing pills could recover 20% of one's battle prowess, which was considered very powerful. As for 70%, unless it was a supreme-grade healing pill, Lin Fei took out a pill. You can have it. He let the young man eat it. Everyone, please take a look. The pill Lin Fei took out was the one he bought from the system store. The price was very, very cheap. Quickly look. This kid's injuries are rapidly recovering. This is too magical. This blood replenishing pill is too magical. A supreme grade, saint grade pill. When the young man on the ground recovered rapidly, everyone was dumbfounded. When did healing pills have such a good effect? It was too miraculous. If they didn't believe it before, they were all surprised when they saw the young man recover. The expressions of the 8 big shots changed, and greed appeared in their eyes. Even though they were big shots, they couldn't stop their greed, especially Tushan Jinren, who knew the effect of this pill at a glance. Who didn't like healing pills? For the big forces, the better the effect of the healing pills, the more they liked them. The pill that Lin Fei took out immediately caught their attention, and they wanted to take it for themselves. Of course, it would be best if they could get the pill recipe. They secretly rejoiced. If they didn't invite Lin Fei over tonight and set up this Hongmen banquet, perhaps when this pill was auctioned, it would definitely bring about a huge response. When one's strength reached a certain level, who didn't want to have healing pills on them? When they encountered danger, they could quickly recover from their injuries. Perhaps with a healing pill, it could help them at a crucial moment. The blood replenishing pill that Lin Fei took out immediately brought about a huge response. In the time it took for an incense stick to burn, 70% of his injuries were healed, which meant that he had the fighting strength to save his life. This pill had to be bought no matter what. It was a must-have item when going out. Tower Leader Lin, how much are you selling this pill for? We want the blood replenishing pill. Tower Leader Lin, name your price. No one was willing to fall behind. Healing pills were equivalent to life-saving pills. Who would want to miss such a good opportunity? They couldn't miss it. Everyone, don't worry. There are still 2 types of pills left. Lin Fei knew that they couldn't resist this temptation. Everyone calmed themselves down. How could they forget about the 2 remaining pills? The first healing pill had such a good effect. What about the other pills? They were starting to look forward to it. The second pill is a type of pill that explodes one's strength. Lin Fei said, this pill is called the potential pill. It can explode one's potential. After exploding, the side effects aren't great. At most, one will be weak for half a year, and during this period, one can't use martial arts. What? There's such a good thing. Potential pill can explode one's potential? Where did this Tower Master Lin find this kind of pill? If the effects are really that good, it can definitely become a trump card. Who doesn't know that the current forbidden pills, once consumed, can explode with an extremely great amount of power? Generally speaking, it will affect one's cultivation level. This shouldn't be possible, right? The side effects are so small. The second pill Lin Fei mentioned was even more surprising than the healing pill. It was a type of forbidden pill. There were countless forbidden pills in the Xiantian continent. The only benefit of forbidden pills was that they could help one in times of danger and kill incoming enemies. No matter what kind of forbidden pill it was, there was something that people couldn't overlook, and that was the side effects. All sorts of forbidden pills had different side effects. Some were serious, while others were light. For example, some forbidden pills could be used for a very long period of time after being consumed, but once the period of time was over, one's cultivation level would plummet. This was a publicly acknowledged side effect. Thus, after consuming a forbidden pill, one had to first be prepared for the side effects. For example, a drop in cultivation level was normal. The side effects of the potential pill that Lin Fei mentioned were as good as nothing. This was their lucky star. Rest for half a year? To them, this wasn't really a side effect. To be able to consume the potential pill, one would definitely be able to survive in times of danger. The side effects were so small that if someone else had said it, they might have thought it was a joke. But after the previous scene, they felt that it was completely possible. Tower Lord Lin, can I give it a try? At this time, there was no need for Lin Fei to speak. Someone had already spoken up, wanting to test the effects of this pill. Tower Lord Lin, why don't you let everyone try it? Someone immediately started to jeer. There was nothing they could do. Lin Fei's words were so pleasing to the ear. A forbidden pill that could explode one's power had such small side effects. Everyone would care about it. If they could personally test it, that would be the best result. In the eyes of these major powers, who didn't have forbidden pills on them. However, they wouldn't use these forbidden pills unless they were in dire straits. The effects were too great, and they didn't dare to use them. If Lin Fei's potential pill really had such an effect, it would undoubtedly be able to replace all sorts of forbidden pills and become the #1 forbidden pill. That wouldn't be a problem at all. No problem. Lin Fei laughed. However, you have to be prepared to rest for half a year. Isn't it just half a year? It's nothing to me. That person didn't think much of it. The prerequisite is that your forbidden pill has such an effect. Lin Fei sneered in his heart. Since you guys want to ruin my reputation, I'll let you know what regret is. Chapter 562. Originally, the 8 bigwigs did not think much of Lin Fei. What was important was that he was within their control, so they did not have to worry about him playing any tricks. However, when they saw the popularity of the medicinal pills they had put out, their expressions changed. This did not seem to be a good sign. The blood-replenishing pill was comparable to a sacred-grade pill. It had already caused everyone to go crazy. They didn't feel good about it. They didn't expect Lin Fei to play tricks in front of them. The blood-replenishing pill that Lin Fei took out had such a good effect. They were already dissatisfied. However, they all nodded in agreement. It wouldn't be appropriate for them to cause trouble at this time. Therefore, when Lin Fei mentioned the second pill, one of the big bosses immediately signaled one of his subordinates to experiment. He was prepared to mess things up so that they would have a good reason to stand out. These big bosses from Sin Paradise were usually very dignified and cared a lot about their reputation. After Lin Fei showed that he was different, they were dissatisfied. They didn't want to see a person who was under their control change. That person gave him a provocative look. It doesn't matter. As long as your pills are as good as you say they are, it's fine as long as you don't come up with some fake pills. Lin Fei threw out a pill. He didn't allow the other party to resist and directly shot it into his body. Now enjoy it. This ability directly stopped the other party's tricks. Lin Fei could understand this. He wasn't worried that he would play any tricks later. It would be good to let the other party see it in person. This young man had indeed wanted to use this trick to cross the sea, swapping out the medicinal pills and tarnishing Lin Fei's reputation. However, he had not expected Lin Fei to see through his intentions and directly insert the medicinal pills into his body. What are you afraid of? All pills have side effects. I don't believe that the side effects are so simple. The young man was sure that Lin Fei was lying. Everyone, please take a look. This young man is at the intermediate stage of the sage realm. According to the potential pill, he should be able to explode with the strength of a perfect sage or an initial stage Emperor realm expert. Normally, he can maintain it for 30 minutes. Lin Fei said calmly so that everyone could be prepared. Everyone, don't use the elixir. The potential elixir won't affect your thoughts. You won't lose control of your thoughts and go crazy like you're imagining. Lin Fei was very clear about the effects of the potential pill. More importantly, this was a pill provided by the system. After buying the immortal intoxication pill from the store, Lin Fei was very confident in the potential pill. Whatever the system said it would be, there would definitely not be a different situation. With Lin Fei personally keeping an eye on them, he did not have to worry about the other party playing any tricks. With his powerful divine sense, he could observe the other party's every move. As long as the other party dared to try anything, he would be able to restrain them immediately. If the other party played any tricks, Lin Fei would like it from the bottom of his heart. He would give them a heavy slap in the face. Boom! After swallowing the pill, his aura surged. Everyone immediately saw it. The pill's effect has started. That young man originally wanted to pretend to be crazy, but after the effect of the pill took effect, his entire mind was clear. He didn't pretend at all. The people present weren't so easy to deceive. If he pretended to be crazy, they would be able to see through it. Because of the divine sense on his body, he couldn't fake it at all. Saint, great perfection. Emperor realm, initial stage. The potential pill immediately took effect. In the blink of an eye, the young man's strength reached the Emperor realm initial stage. No matter who it was, they were all surprised when they saw this scene. The kind of craziness that they imagined didn't appear. Normally, after taking the forbidden pill, it was inevitable that one would lose control of their thoughts. Bedevilment. The forbidden pill had the feeling of being bedeviled. Everything in front of them was killing. Many pills were a kind of killing. However, they noticed that the other party didn't have any intention of going crazy. He was very clear-headed and his judgment was very clear. This is too magical. Just from this point alone, they knew how effective the pill was. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, the young man's combat strength remained at the Emperor realm initial stage. Everyone could see with a glance that there wasn't any change from beginning to end. This is too amazing. This potential pill didn't have any side effects of causing one's realm to plummet. This person is exhausted. His whole body needs to be replenished with the spiritual chi of heaven and earth. He should rest for half a year. Amazing! It was their first time seeing this kind of forbidden medicine, and they were shocked again. It could be said that they were shocked for the second time. This Lin Fei of the Mythology Tower was truly capable. Just where did these pills come from? Just by looking at these two pills, they seemed to understand how powerful the Mythology Tower was. With the blood-replenishing pill, they had the upper hand in battle. He could recover his combat strength quickly, but the other side could not. The result was destined. The recovery time of the potential pill varied, and it was also a threat to them. Damned Lin Fei, where did he get all these pills from? Could it be that he dug up some kind of mystic realm? The big shot's expressions changed. All along, they had not thought much of the mythical tower, but after seeing these pills, they realized how amazing they were. The heaven-shrouding sect and the supreme treasure tower were both likely to be destroyed because of this. As long as the mythology tower had these two kinds of pills, they would definitely have a great advantage. In the long run, the ones who would suffer losses would be the Xi treasure tower and the heaven shrouding gang. No matter what, we have to get this pill recipe. Lin Fei must have many pill recipes on him. Maybe he found an ancient sect's mystic realm. No matter what, we can't let Lin Fei leave tonight. This kind of person is definitely our greatest enemy. Fortunately, we knew in advance. Otherwise, if we attacked the mythology tower, we would be the unlucky ones. Right now, I can't wait to kill Lin Fei. However, let him be happy for now and publicize the pills. This will save us time. As long as we have these pill recipes, we can become a unique faction on the continent. No matter who it is, they will beg us to sell the pills to them. These big shots reacted very quickly. They knew how to maximize the benefits. They were all experts in this aspect and immediately realized the benefits. Now, everyone will like the third pill, Lin Fei said with a smile. This third pill, the Emperor Breakthrough Pill, is not a forbidden medicine. It is a type of advancement pill. It is a sacred grade pill that can increase the success rate of advancing from the Sage Realm to the Imperial Realm by 70%. As soon as Lin Fei finished speaking, there was an uproar. It should be said that there was a huge uproar. Although they were shocked by the first two pills, they were not as shocked as this one. Lin Fei had almost no obstacles in his cultivation. However, for others, they did not have such good luck. They needed to cross many thresholds and finally become experts. The higher the realm, the harder it was to advance. The barrier for Sage Realm to advance to the Imperial Realm was very difficult. It was unknown how many people were stuck at this step. They were all excited to have a 70% chance of advancing to the Imperial Realm. Among the people present, many were stuck at the peak of Sage Realm. They were only one step away from the Imperial Realm. However, they did not know when they would be able to cross this step. Only by becoming an Imperial Realm could they pass the tribulation. Even if they could not become a celestial immortal, they could still become a powerful rogue immortal. However, if they could not cross this step, everything would be a waste of time. 70% chance, did I hear wrongly? I must have heard wrongly. How could there be such a pill? Impossible, it must be impossible. Many people started to shake their heads. 70% chance of advancement. It could be said that as long as one's luck was not too bad, they could generally advance to the Imperial Realm. The expressions of the 8 big shots changed again. When a faction nurtured experts, the Imperial Realm was the bottom line. As for Sage Realm experts, they did not care. After all, it would take a long time to nurture them. There was no need for Imperial Realm experts. Unfortunately, it was very difficult for Sage Realm experts to advance to the Imperial Realm. The success rate was not high. Some people kept on breaking through, but were unable to cross this step. Even if they had the combat power of an Imperial Realm expert, the gap between realms was like a chasm. No matter how hard they tried, they could not cross it. Everyone did not hear wrongly. The Emperor-breaking pill, is that miraculous? Lin Fei said, "These are the 3 pills that our mythology tower will be auctioning. Among them, the Emperor-breaking pill. Due to its value and refinement, I cannot let everyone test it. I believe that after seeing the blood replenishing pill and potential pill, you will have a better understanding of the Emperor-breaking pill." If Lin Fei had taken out the Emperor-breaking pill earlier, they would definitely not have believed him. However, after seeing the blood replenishing pill and potential pill, their minds were shaken. Tower Lord Lin, is your auction really in 1 month? Are there any requirements to participate in this auction? We also wish to participate in this auction. I wonder if it is possible. Everyone could no longer sit still. The temptation of the Emperor-breaking pill was too great. They could not resist it, especially the sages. Some of them had relatives who were at the Sage Realm and were about to break through. If they could break through this time, they all wanted chance. Perhaps everyone will doubt it. However, everyone can wait and see for the auction in 1 month. Lin Fei threw out another piece of news. Ding! Congratulations, player! You have obtained 10,000 sect reputation points. Please continue to work hard. 10,000 sect reputation points was not a lot. However, Lin Fei knew that after tonight's banquet, this news would spread to the entire Sin Paradise. Tower Master Lin, you've truly given me a huge shock. This is a huge sum of money. Tushan Enlightened walked up, and the corner of his eyes twitched. This mythology tower really deserved to die. They could even obtain these pill formulas. If they really held an auction, wouldn't they snatch away all their profits? At this moment, Tushan Enlightened was in a good mood. Lin Fei knew what they were thinking. I really have to thank you guys for what happened today. If not for you guys, I would not have had the chance to advertise. In the future, if you guys want to auction pills, I will definitely reserve a few good spots for you. The few of us actually wanted to find you to understand this pill. I wonder if you're interested in studying it together and teaching the younger generation? Lin Fei directly ignored the first sentence. Teaching the younger generation? That's not too good. Another big shot walked up. There's nothing bad about it. Tower Lord Lin, you are now the idol of the younger generation in Sin Paradise. Who knows how many people want to learn from you? How can you disappoint them? Damn, you guys are really vicious. You want to use the younger generation to learn from each other. Who doesn't know that these disciples are all geniuses? If they kill themselves during the learning process, nothing will happen to you guys. Instead, I will have a bad reputation. Lin Fei instantly saw through their plan. That's good too. I forced them to take the initiative. This gives me a moral advantage. In the eyes of others, they will think that I am not deliberately targeting you guys. Lin Fei's hesitant expression fell into the eyes of the others. Tower Lord Lin, you are the Tower Lord of the Myth Tower. Can't you give them some advice? That big shot continued. You shouldn't disappoint them. Anyway, you're just teaching them. Nothing will happen. This was exactly what the few big shots had been planning. Originally, they were prepared to fight at the beginning. However, there was a small accident. Later on, they thought it was better to not fight at the beginning and be seen through. This was the best reason he could come up with. If Lin Fei did not agree, they had ways to make Lin Fei agree. It could be said that no matter how Lin Fei refused, he had to agree. Lin Fei made up his mind. Since they worship me so much, it will be bad if I don't teach them. However, I have to make one thing clear. If any accidents happen during the teaching process, I will not be responsible. Saying that was exactly what they wanted. Accidents are inevitable. Everyone knows this. With regards to Lin Fei's strength, they thought that he was around the itinerant immortal tribulation or second tribulation. There must be an expert behind him to be able to destroy the treasure tower and the heaven shrouding gang. They were not afraid of the experts behind them. Lin Fei was only this strong. It was best if they didn't make a move. Using the geniuses under them to deal with him would undoubtedly strengthen their reputation. The prerequisite was that they could kill Lin Fei. During the teaching process, if their skills were inferior and they were killed by the other party, no one could say anything about this. It was truly a flawless plan. Lin Fei knew that they would say this. This was also good. If he killed them, they would not look good. All right, I am in a good mood today. I will teach 3. Lin Fei thought about it. The big shots didn't care about 3. The genius experts they arranged all had explosive combat power. Just one of them was enough to kill Lin Fei. 3 was more than enough. It was unknown how many times they could kill Lin Fei. Very soon, a silver-clothed young master walked up. He exuded the aura of a superior. With one look, it was obvious that he was in an extremely high position. When the silver-clothed young master came out, someone immediately exclaimed, "Isn't that the genius warrior of the Iron Veins Hall?" I think he is called Zhang Qi. His nickname is the Silver-Clothed General. His strength is rather terrifying. I really didn't expect the Iron Veins Hall to send Zhang Qi up. I wonder if this Tower Master Lin can stop him. Who knows? Back then, Tower Master Lin was able to escape from the encirclement and return a year later. His strength shouldn't be too weak. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come tonight. Chapter 563. Please guide me. Zhang Qi didn't give Lin Fei any chance. He strode out with a spirited gaze and gestured for Lin Fei to attack. Since it's a guide, bring out your strongest attack. Otherwise, you won't be able to come out of the cell phone association. Lin Fei spoke very softly and indifferently. As one of the generals of the Hall of Iron Veins, Zhang Qi had fought in countless battles. The number of people who died at his hands numbered at least 1,000. No one had ever dared to speak to him like this. Earth roar! Zhang Qi took a step forward and punched out with both fists. The ground beneath him turned into a country, and everyone seemed to be in an extremely mysterious place. It's just an illusion realm. Go back and train for a few more years. Lin Fei stomped his foot, and the omnidirectional control shattered like a mirror. A cold light shot out from his finger and penetrated the general's head. Even his primordial spirit was destroyed. Zhang Qi is dead. Everyone felt a chill in their hearts. Lin Fei was too powerful. A general of the Hall of Iron Veins was killed with a single finger. Tower Lord Lin, you are too ruthless. The 8 big shots were unhappy that Zhang Qi was killed with a single finger. This was especially so for the Hall of Iron Veins' big shot, Venerable Iron Blood. I thought that this fellow was quite powerful and could block my finger. Who knew that he would be so useless? Lin Fei had a depressed expression. If you had told me that this fellow wasn't strong, I would have definitely shown mercy. After saying that, he shook his head with a disappointed expression. Zhang Qi was a second tribulation, scattered immortal. After being killed with a single finger, everyone had a better understanding of Lin Fei's strength. This fellow had really hidden his strength deeply. Tower Lord Lin is right. Zhang Qi can't blame others for being inferior. Venerable Tushan's expression was also unsightly. However, such accidents happen often. Let's go to the next one. The 8 big shots actually didn't think that Zhang Qi would be able to kill Lin Fei. They just wanted to test him and let the other 2 have an understanding of him. Regrettably, Zhang Qi was too useless. He couldn't even block a single move and was killed. He couldn't test anything at all. Let me. At this time, another young man with a powerful aura walked out. Compared to the previous Zhang Qi, this person's strength was more than a level higher. Simply by standing there, he was like an insurmountable mountain. Lin Fei still said the same thing. Go all out, lest I have to go easy on you again. Disdain, extreme disdain. Heaven's suppressing tower. This person was quite smart. He immediately used a profound heavenly spirit treasure, and it was an extreme grade one at that. He wanted to suppress Lin Fei on the spot. Using a profound heavenly spiritual treasure to attack was actually crossing the line. Not bad. Lin Fei looked up and saw the illusory hand grab the profound heaven spirit treasure. With a cracking sound, the top-grade profound heaven spirit treasure was destroyed. That person coughed up a mouthful of blood. Too cruel. He even crushed a supreme-grade profound heaven spiritual treasure. What kind of strength is that? Seeing this scene, everyone simply shut up. The expressions of the 8 powerhouses were even more unsightly than before. They understood that it was impossible for them to kill Lin Fei on the spot with their geniuses. They had to make a move. This Lin Fei was very strong. At the very least, they could sense a dangerous aura from him. Since they couldn't instruct and spar, they didn't plan to continue wasting time. Tower Lord Lin, what are your intentions in injuring my subordinates? A powerhouse walked out, his eyes filled with killing intent. Give me an explanation. In the void, a huge black finger immediately shot out. The domineering aura clearly wanted to kill Lin Fei with one finger. They finally couldn't help but make a move. Lin Fei had long wanted them to make a move. Therefore, during the spar, he might as well kill them. Mince. Lin Fei didn't dodge. He shot out 2 sword lights. A huge pair of scissors appeared in the void. Crack, crack, crack. The huge finger was cut off, and the scissors charged towards the 8 powerhouses. Crack, crack, crack. You dare. The 8 powerhouses quickly dodged, but the people beside them weren't so lucky. They were immediately cut in half, and even their primordial spirits were cut in half. Voila! The hall was in complete chaos. Even though everyone had guessed it, when it really happened, they were still shocked. Old fart, you just want to deal with me. Why are you playing tricks? Just kill them directly. Lin Fei didn't think about killing them one by one. 5 high-level loose celestials and 3 mid-level loose celestials. Each of them had the combat power of a high-level loose celestial. They weren't that easy to kill. Lin Fei, as long as you submit to us and hand over the celestial artifact and the treasure map to the secret heaven vault, we can spare your life, Venerable Shuiwe said loudly. Lin Fei didn't think much of it. Do you think I will believe you? Don't use such a ridiculous reason. Suppress him. The 8 powerhouses realized that this Lin Fei had the combat power of a mid-level loose celestial. Suppress. The 8 powerhouses attacked at the same time. Lin Fei instantly felt the pressure. After all, they attacked together, otherwise a high-level loose celestial would be too worthless. Legend Tower is going to be destroyed. Seeing the 8 powerhouses attack, everyone sucked in a cold breath. In order to deal with Lin Fei, they attacked together. This was a relatively rare thing. The 8 powerhouses attacked at the same time. Every attack contained immortal power. In less than a moment, Lin Fei's body exploded. He's finally dead. The 8 powerhouses heaved a sigh of relief. In the next second, their expressions changed again. Lin Fei recovered again. Old fart, you really have some power. To be able to last for a while against the 8 powerhouses, Lin Fei's name would spread throughout the entire continent. Flesh rebirth. They recognized it at a glance. Flesh rebirth could only be cultivated to a certain level to have such an effect. They realized that it would be difficult to kill Lin Fei. If the 8 of them attacked, anyone would be killed. After Lin Fei was destroyed, he could regenerate his flesh and blood. That was the result of his flesh and blood cells being incomparably powerful. Not bad, Lin Fei laughed. Now this daddy will not be finished with you guys. Just now, Lin Fei wanted to test how long he could last under the attacks of a high-level loose celestial. The strength of a high-level loose celestial was far stronger than he imagined. Fortunately, my flesh rebirth has reached a certain level. My flesh cells are very powerful and cannot be destroyed by immortal power. Iron Blood sneered, no matter how powerful your flesh rebirth is, against our continuous attacks, let's see how much true essence you can recover. Even though Lin Fei's flesh rebirth was relatively hard to deal with, each recovery required a large amount of true essence. They didn't believe that they couldn't kill him with their methods. Heaven and Earth Furnace. A huge whirlpool descended from the sky, trapping the 8 powerhouses. Lin Fei also took the opportunity to enter. The Heaven and Earth Furnace instantly turned into dust. What's going on? Where did they go? Could it be an immortal weapon? They really disappeared. When Lin Fei used the Heaven and Earth Furnace, the people in the hall couldn't sense it at all. It disappeared in a flash, leaving no traces. So, the moment the 8 powerhouses disappeared, the high-level loose celestials who were lying in ambush rushed in one after another. Their expressionless faces were filled with surprise. Disappeared again? When these mid- and high-level bodiless immortals appeared in the hall, a mysterious force pulled them to a mysterious place. Strange, dangerous aura. It lingered in everyone's hearts. So the Heaven and Earth Furnace can be used like this. The one who sucked in the high-level and mid-level loose celestials was Lin Fei. The Heaven and Earth Furnace turned into a speck of dust in the world. Lin Fei controlled the dust and used the unique characteristics of the Heaven and Earth Furnace to suck them in one by one. Stinking brat, what tricks did you play on us? The 8 powerhouses couldn't understand how they appeared in this mysterious space with their strength. Welcome to my territory. Lin Fei appeared in front of them. Boom! The moment he appeared, the 8 powerhouses attacked instantly, trying to kill Lin Fei. Unfortunately, their attacks missed, and he appeared in another place. Don't waste your energy. Lin Fei mocked. In my space, I am God, the only God. So, the 4 fiends, Shangguanhong and Qi Lian, heavenly demon, appeared one by one. High-level loose celestials. Tu Shanjinren and the others recognized them at a glance. The powerful auras on these people weren't any weaker than theirs. You are the four fiends. One of the powerhouses' expression changed drastically. He pointed at Invincible True Immortal, revealing a look of fear. I didn't expect someone to recognize me. Invincible True Immortal was quite surprised. Since you know me, let's have a good game. Whoosh! The divine fire burned and turned into countless fire dragons, separating them and forming a cage. Invincible True Immortal flew over. Since you know my name, let's have a good game. The heaven and earth furnace was Lin Fei's. Lin Fei could control everything, so it was easy for him to separate people. Impossible. Daoist Shuewa panicked. Why would the four fiends help you? Ordinary people might not know about the four fiends. High-level loose celestials had heard of this name, and many of them had more or less suffered a setback at their hands. These four fiends were old monsters who had lived for millions of years. As loose celestials, to be able to live to this extent meant that every loose celestial was extremely powerful. As for Emperor-level experts, they couldn't live to this extent because their lifespans weren't enough. The 8 powerhouses originally thought that they would definitely be able to defeat them. However, when they saw the 4 fiends and 2 other high-level loose celestial experts, they felt pressured. Take care of them. Let's go back and drink. Drunken True Immortal shouted. Leave these 3 to me. The rest are yours. Lin Fei chose 3 mid-level loose celestials. They looked like mid-level loose celestials, but in fact, they were all high-level loose celestials. Hua hua hua, Lin Fei controlled the divine fire to separate them one by one. The divine fire was extremely overbearing, and their physical bodies couldn't withstand it for long. After a while, they were all in disarray. Within the heaven and earth furnace, the divine fire separated many spaces. We underestimated you. The 3 mid-level loose celestial powerhouses were also trapped in a small space, and their expressions were deranged. They had underestimated Lin Fei. If they had known that there was such a heaven-defying existence, they wouldn't have dragged it out. The only thing they could do now was to go all out. Kill! The 3 powerhouses charged forward, and each of them took out their celestial artifacts. Their celestial might was boundless, and they didn't dare to hold back anymore. Facing the 3 high-level loose celestial powerhouses, Lin Fei used the divine fire to protect himself. He controlled the divine fire to fight, and it was very intense. With their celestial artifacts, it wasn't difficult for them to kill anyone. However, against Lin Fei, their celestial artifacts were clearly countered. The other party's overbearing divine fire kept shuttling through the void, and they couldn't defend against it. Once they touched the divine fire, their divine souls would be in pain, and their combat strength would be greatly reduced. Lin Fei wasn't as strong as them. In the divine fire space, he used the overbearing divine fire to fight them to a draw, and he kept suppressing them. Gradually, they were at a disadvantage. Just admit defeat. Lin Fei had the divine fire to protect himself, and with the flesh rebirth, he didn't have to be afraid of the 3 of them. Chapter 564. Sky-flipping immortal art. The 3 bigwigs consumed a lot of quintessential essence. Lin Fei seized the opportunity to use an immortal art. It was a real immortal art that contained supreme celestial might, as if a real immortal had descended. A huge palm appeared above the 3 bigwigs, and their expressions changed drastically. You're not a bodiless immortal. How can you use a real immortal art? The 3 bigwigs were in despair. They could use their immortal artifacts, but they did not dare to use their celestial power. However, as soon as Lin Fei attacked, he used a true immortal technique that was supported by unparalleled immortal force. It was truly like slaughtering gods and destroying Buddhas, truly domineering. Bang! 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 The sky-flipping immortal art shattered the 3 bigwigs, and their primordial spirits could not escape. It was a true killing move. Sky-flipping immortal art worth 100 million points. Awesome. Lin Fei had bought this immortal art from the system store. It was a sky immortal art worth 100 million points. The attack is domineering, but it consumes a lot of celestial power. Lin Fei's heart ached. I can use this attack 6 times at most before I run out of celestial power. Return. After killing 3 mid-tier bodiless immortals with 1 palm strike, Lin Fei retrieved the remaining celestial power. 3 immortal artifacts. Not bad. The 3 immortal artifacts were all mid-tier bodiless immortals, and they were all offensive weapons. There's still some bodiless immortals over there. Kill them as well. If the opponents were not high-level bodiless immortals, Lin Fei could easily kill them. Only high-level bodiless immortals could contend with them in terms of offense and defense. 1 hour later, the divine flame space quieted down. The 8 bigwigs and the other bodiless immortals were all dead. The 4 evildoers were veteran high-level bodiless immortals. It was not difficult for them to deal with these high-level bodiless immortals. We finally killed them all. Lin Fei killed the last mid-tier bodiless immortal, and the rest stopped. Kid, you used an immortal art just now, right? It looks like a sky immortal art. The invincible true immortal chuckled. You even know that? Which high-level bodiless immortal on our continent doesn't have a celestial art of the heavenly immortal level? However, these celestial arts consume too much immortal force. They won't use them unless it's absolutely necessary. Lin Fei suddenly understood. What about them? What kind of high-level loose immortals are they? They don't even have a complete celestial immortal grade immortal technique. How dare they call themselves high-level loose immortals? True immortal wine said disdainfully. This was the first time Lin Fei had heard of such a thing. Seniors, there's still some loose immortals outside. I need you to suppress them. In the main hall of the mansion, no one dared to leave. The 8 bosses had all disappeared. They wanted to leave, but if they waited for the 8 bosses to come out, it would be hard for them to face them. Although everyone was nervous, they waited at the scene. When Lin Fei came out, everyone was dumbfounded. Then there were waves of tyrannical auras. The 8 big shots that they had always wanted to see had not appeared at this time. If I were you, I'd rather eat and drink here than take half a step out. A cup of fine wine appeared in Lin Fei's hand. He was very leisurely. Seeing this scene, cold sweat appeared on everyone's foreheads. It seemed like something had happened to the big shots. The situation was very clear. Lin Fei had appeared, but the others did not. Even a fool would know what was going on. Where did our gang leader go? In the mansion, the subordinates of the big shots were all present. Lin Fei suppressed them with his divine sense, and they completely lost their combat strength. The few leaders were directly killed, and the remaining people were frightened. It's over. It's all over. No one expected that there would be high-level loose immortals by Lin Fei's side. The next day, the 8 big gangs in Sin Paradise were wiped out in a single night. It was the mythological tower. The upper echelons of the 8 big gangs were all killed. No one was left alive. Their subordinates were also rapidly devoured. In a single night, the top of the city changed. The 8 big shots were wiped out by the mythological tower. Everyone felt fear for no reason. This was especially so for some of the major factions. They had always maintained a neutral stance, but after hearing about this, everyone was tempted. The mythological tower was too domineering. They had wiped out 8 big gangs in a single breath. Their strength was second to none, and their influence had also expanded to every corner of Sin Paradise. Before they could make a choice, an invitation was delivered to them. When the remaining big shots saw the invitation, they understood one thing. It was time for them to make a choice. Enemy or submit? Everyone knew that the 8 big gangs had high-level loose immortals guarding them. However, they had all been wiped out in a single night. As a result, the mythological tower's strength had increased greatly in a single night. 3 days later, the remaining big shots of Sin Paradise were invited to a banquet and made their final decision. As for what they had discussed during the meeting, no one knew. The only thing everyone knew was that, after the banquet, these big shots had all joined the mythological tower. Originally, they could still contend against them. However, after they joined the mythological tower, everyone was shocked. After that, the news that the mythological tower was going to auction off 3 rare medicinal pills caused quite a storm. Everyone knew about it. The high-level loose immortals of Sin Paradise don't dare to make a move now. Inside the mythological tower, Shangguan Hong was drinking wine with a happy expression on his face. After dealing with the Hongmen banquet, the mythological tower had annexed many factions, big and small. They had also paid a price to recruit the remaining big shots. Their faction had snowballed, becoming the #1 faction in Sin Paradise. That's it for now. Lin Fei really wanted to get rid of the high-level loose immortals of Sin Paradise, but he couldn't for the time being. Hand over what needs to be handed over. Let's ease things up first. In the words of the 4 great fiends, every single one of those high-level loose immortals was a 9th tribulation loose immortal. They had powerful combat prowess, and they were only a step away from becoming heavenly immortals. Once they became heavenly immortals, they would be peak heavenly immortals among heavenly immortals. Even though Lin Fei had recruited quite a few high-level loose immortals, there was still a gap in strength between them and the high-level loose immortals. Since they were only a step away from becoming heavenly immortals, there were very few people worthy of them making a move. Even if the 4 great fiends worked together, they wouldn't be easy to deal with. Hence, they didn't shed all pretense of cordiality. I think that's the only way, Shangguan Hong said. 9th tribulation loose immortals won't make a move easily. They're too strong. Once they make a move, they might attract the heavenly tribulation. They won't make a move unless it's absolutely necessary. 9th tribulation loose immortals couldn't fight them for the time being. Since they couldn't fight them, Lin Fei naturally chose to not offend them. I'll leave the auction house's elixir auction to you guys. You're going back? The scarlet refining heavenly demon asked. Lin Fei nodded. They've probed me a few times, and I think they're going to make a move on me. Hence, I have to make a trip back. Lin Fei's clone was in the mighty God Empire, so he could communicate with him. Hence, he naturally knew about the Empire's little probing. Moreover, he had been out for almost half a year, so it was time for him to return. With the 4 great fiends overseeing the mythical tower, Lin Fei had nothing to worry about. With the 3 types of elixirs being auctioned, Lin Fei believed that the mythical tower's reputation would spread rapidly. After all, it was to increase the sect's prestige. Don't worry and go back, Shangguan Hong said. Nothing will happen here. That night, Lin Fei and Jean Feng had an intimate moment. During this time, Jean Feng said, "I want a child." At that time, Lin Fei was surprised. "You want a child?" Jean Feng was very serious. "You're usually very busy, and the continent seems to be very chaotic. I feel very lonely by myself. It'll be different if I have a child." After coming to this continent for more than 10 years, Lin Fei really hadn't thought about it. "If you want a child, then let's make one. It'll be best if you give birth to a beautiful little girl." Lin Fei didn't refuse. For an expert of his level, having a child was also a matter of a thought. If he was willing, he could have as many children as he wanted. If he didn't want to have children, no one could force him. Lin Fei also felt that he should leave a bloodline for himself. As his strength increased, he was already in the immortal emperor realm. After accumulating more and more strength, he could try to break through to the heaven immortal realm. He wasn't too sure how the system would break through to the heaven immortal realm. It would be good to leave a bloodline. The accumulation of the immortal emperor realm required too much true essence. According to Lin Fei's calculations, the accumulation would reach the limit in less than 10 years. At that time, it would be time for him to break through. Tenjin Temple. Lin Fei's doppelganger had always been here at the Tenjin Temple. In half a year, he rarely left. His office was moved to the Tenjin Temple. On this day, Lin Fei returned from the outside and replaced the doppelganger. When Lin Jiqing heard about it, she immediately came back. Fortunately, you are back. What's the reaction of the mighty god empire recently? After leaving for half a year, Lin Fei was sure that the mighty god empire had contacted some big forces. Recently, there are many spies outside the Tenjin Temple. All of them are spies from the empire's royal family, Lin Jiqing said. Moreover, the royal family has a group of powerful experts. All of them have the battle power of a loose immortal, another mysterious expert. Lin Fei thought of the Unfalling Dynasty. Didn't the war god sect destroy the Unfalling Dynasty with the help of a group of mysterious experts? Lin Fei remembered this matter clearly. How did you know? Lin Fei recounted what had happened after he returned. He mainly mentioned that a group of experts had appeared in the war god sect. In the end, this group of experts had self-destructed. It seems like this force is very, very powerful. Lin Jiqing's tone was solemn. The mighty god empire has a group of experts. We went to investigate and found that they are all royal family disciples. Their talent is not very good, but now, all of them have the battle power of a loose immortal. According to your calculations, this is not happening only in the mighty god empire. It seems like the continent is really going to change. Ever since Lin Fei's main body had left, Lin Jiqing had been in charge of the Holy Hall's matters. Through her subordinates, she had learned some things about the Holy Hall's inspectors. Among them, the Empire's experts were the most eye-catching. After the addition of a group of loose immortals, the mighty god Empire's battle power soared, suppressing the surrounding empires. In just half a year, they had conquered 3 empires. Conquering 3 empires in half a year. What did this mean? This was absolutely impossible. Every empire was very powerful, but the mighty god Empire had done it. They had conquered 3 empires in half a year. Lin Fei thought of the underground teleportation tower. Maybe the problem lied in it. That was a passage to cross over to another world. Tenjin Temple must be careful. I suspect that the mighty god empire will soon reveal their ambition. Lin Fei didn't think that the Saint Hall was very powerful. He didn't see any fear in the mighty god empire. Why did they endure it the last time? It seemed like they were trying to stabilize themselves. Thinking about it carefully, Lin Fei really did think of some problems. The mighty god empire was trying to express a certain meaning. I have already sent people to keep an eye on the princes of the royal family. If there is any movement, we will know immediately. Lin Jiqing nodded. Tonight, I will personally go to the royal family to investigate. It's too dangerous. Lin Jiqing had the battle power of a 3rd tribulation loose immortal. She knew how terrifying the mighty god empire was. Now was different from the past. She was worried that if she went to investigate, she would be trapped. Lin Fei smiled. It's fine. I have recently mastered another method. They might not be able to see through it. Chapter 565. The mighty god empire was shrouded in darkness. Cheers and laughter could be heard everywhere. As the citizens of the empire, what they loved the most was the empire's continuous expansion. They would enjoy the benefits of the empire's expansion. In half a year, the mighty god empire had destroyed 3 empires, expanding their territory many times over. The citizens of the imperial capital were in a state of excitement every day. A speck of dust flew past in the dark night. It was so fast that no one could detect its presence. Lin Fei controlled the speck of dust and aimed it at the imperial palace. After returning from the outside, Lin Fei didn't relax. Instead, he felt an invisible pressure. He wouldn't feel at ease until he figured out what was going on. An empire, a dynasty, both had their similarities. Lin Fei was a person who was searching for his roots. No matter what, he had to get to the bottom of it. With the help of the divine flame space, Lin Fei easily entered the imperial palace. Hiding in the divine flame space, Lin Fei wasn't worried about being discovered. The speck of dust in the divine flame space didn't carry any aura. It was exactly the same as the surrounding speck of dust. No one would be able to tell the difference. Lin Fei headed straight for the imperial palace. If he wanted to understand the situation, he had to start from the imperial palace. Perhaps it was the wrong time, but the imperial palace was very quiet. There wasn't a single person in sight. This was out of Lin Fei's expectation. Not here. The mighty god empire had been victorious in every battle. The imperial palace should be celebrating every day. He couldn't find anyone in the imperial palace, nor could he see Emperor Xia. Lin Fei didn't mind. It was still early, and he could find the result he wanted. Coming out of the imperial palace, Lin Fei prepared to find the princes. The imperial palace of the mighty god empire was huge. The princes who were supposed to be sent out were now living in the huge imperial palace. First prince, third prince, eighth prince. Just as Lin Fei was about to go find the princes, 3 figures appeared on the street outside. Lin Fei recognized them at a glance. In the Holy Church branch, there was information on the members of the imperial family. Among them, the eldest prince, the third prince, and the 8th prince were the 3 most promising princes. According to the analysis of the Templar branch, in the future when Emperor Xiao abdicates, these 3 princes are currently the most qualified to become the next Emperor Xia. Each of them had a faction behind them, and they were equally matched. In order to fight for the throne, the competition was exceptionally intense. Their auras. Even though they were in the divine flame space, Lin Fei could sense that their auras were somewhat familiar. Men in black. Lin Fei remembered. When the black-clothed men from the war god's sect self-detonated, they had this kind of aura. Lin Fei controlled the dust and placed it on the first prince. He believed that they would appear together and would not disappoint him. The 3 of them did not speak along the way, and their faces were expressionless. First, they arrived at a side hall. It was a very remote place in the imperial palace. Most people would not have thought that this side hall would have a completely different world. Underground. The 3 princes walked into the side palace. Then, just as Lin Fei had guessed, a teleportation matrix appeared inside the side palace. It was a small-scale teleportation matrix. When the 3 of them came out again, they were in a huge underground kingdom. It's the teleportation tower again. When they arrived at the underground kingdom, Lin Fei found that the people below were all loose immortal experts. There were no less than 1,000 of them, and they formed a huge aura. He was shocked. When the 3 princes appeared, people immediately came to greet them. Princes, His Majesty has orders. You are to go over there immediately. Prepare to activate the teleportation tower. Lin Fei understood that the place they were talking about might be the place where he would unravel the mystery. To go or not to go? In the end, Lin Fei decided to go with them. He was confident in his divine flame space clone. Outsiders should not be able to detect it. He was at least 90% sure. When the huge teleportation tower appeared in front of them, Lin Fei had guessed that the mighty god empire must be related to this. The only thing he did not expect was that they had built a teleportation tower under the imperial palace. Judging from the scale, this teleportation tower was not small. The 3 princes stepped into the teleportation tower. Immediately, someone opened it. With a flash of white light, the 3 of them disappeared. It really is a spatial tunnel. It was like a tunnel, boundless and endless. This was the first time Lin Fei had traveled through such a tunnel. The process didn't take long. After the time it takes for a stick of incense to burn, they appeared in a dark plain. The entire world was a hazy gray. Outsiders. It's actually the outsiders. When he saw the vast horde of outsiders on the plain, Lin Fei was shocked. Although he had his guesses, when he saw the horde of outsiders, Lin Fei was still stunned. At the end of the teleportation tower was the outsider's world. Lin Fei immediately understood that he was not in the Xiantian continent. He was in the outsider's world. Everything below the heaven realm belonged to the mortal world. The mortal world didn't just consist of the Xiantian continent. The entire mortal world was made up of countless worlds of various sizes, some strong and some weak. The outsider's world was an extremely powerful world. They were a race with enormous ambitions, constantly invading different worlds. Even Lin Fei felt a headache coming on when he saw that vast horde of outsiders. The outsiders had used an ancient method to build the teleportation tower and had also roped in the empire and dynasty. In an instant, Lin Fei understood everything. Building a teleportation tower wasn't something that could be done in a short period of time. It would take an endless amount of time, and the outsiders' battlefront was just a distraction. Lin Fei couldn't figure out how they could hide from the experts of the Xiantian continent. If the outsiders built a teleportation tower in the Xiantian continent, it should be easy to detect. How could they not detect it? When the three princes came out, their faces were no longer expressionless. Under the guidance of outsider, they boarded an enormous warship. Lin Fei noticed that this outsider's world was extremely desolate, not as prosperous as the Xiantian continent. At the same time, the climate was extremely harsh. As Lin Fei saw it, only the outsiders could survive in such a harsh climate. If it were humans, they would have to be at least at the Xian zone level to survive. An hour later, the warship landed on an enormous plaza. Lin Fei saw a strange scene. One by one, humans were topless. Their bodies were surrounded by green runes that were filled with a strange aura. Their faces were sometimes in pain, sometimes in pleasure. Ah! At this moment, a human screamed. An outsider's shadow appeared above his head. Then his strength soared all the way to the peak of the first tribulation, loose immortal, before stopping. No wonder the aura on those people was so uncomfortable. They used a secret technique of the outsiders. Lin Fei came to a realization. The mighty God Empire probably used this method to produce a batch of experts. As Lin Fei observed, people kept breaking through and entered the loose immortal level. To become a loose immortal, apart from luck, one needed time and resources. But this method was too fast. Lin Fei could see that these people only had a lifespan of 100 or 200 years. After that, they would all die. They used their entire lives in exchange for increasing their strength. For those who couldn't increase their strength, it was completely worth it to use 200 years in exchange for the power of a loose immortal. It was rare to have the power of a loose immortal. Many people were willing to pay the price. Then, a huge black palace appeared in front of Lin Fei. This should be the vanguard camp. Lin Fei guessed. At the same time, he controlled the Godfire space to cover his aura. This was to prevent any changes from attracting attention. This was a world dominated by the outsiders. Lin Fei had to be careful. Even though this was a vanguard camp, he had to be very, very careful. If he was discovered, Lin Fei didn't think he could fight them. When the three princes walked into the Black Palace, Lin Fei immediately discovered that there were many humans in the palace. They were all well-behaved. There were many high-level outsiders. Each of them had the strength of a mid-level loose immortal. After they entered, they soon arrived in front of a small palace. "Father!" When they entered, Emperor Xia and a few other humans were sitting inside. I was wondering why I couldn't see Emperor Xia, so he came to this outsider's world. Lin Fei recognized this Emperor Xia. He was different from the records. At the very least, he was a high-level loose immortal. "Hurry up and greet Commander Shalala," Emperor Xia said to them. Sitting next to Emperor Xia was an outsider with a vertical eye. His aura was no weaker than Emperor Xia's. "Greetings, Commander," the three princes said hurriedly. They didn't dare to disobey Emperor Xia. "Emperor Xia, your three sons are not bad," Shalala said, "but they're a bit weak." Emperor Xia laughed dryly. Shalala, my 3 sons are dragons among men. Although they're a bit weak, it's not a big problem. Lin Fei listened. Only then did he realize that this Emperor Xia was quite ambitious. He was trying to use his own sons to form a marriage alliance and curry favor with Commander Shalala. In the future, when we become brothers in arms, our mighty God Empire will stand firmly on your side. Emperor Xia said straightforwardly. Shalala said straightforwardly, your 3 sons are indeed dragons among men. I don't know which one my daughter likes. I can only say that it's up to her. Hurry up and thank Commander Shalala. Emperor Xia said, this is your lifetime's worth of good fortune. As the Emperor of the mighty God Empire, Emperor Xia had pledged his allegiance to the outsiders. If he wanted to stand firm in the future, he needed a backer. Shalala was one of the backers that Emperor Xia had chosen. About half an hour later, Shalala stood up and prepared to leave. At this time, Lin Fei separated himself from the eldest prince and landed on Commander Shalala's back. Lin Fei might not have been able to learn anything from Emperor Xia and the others, but this Commander Shalala was different. From Emperor Xia's flattery, it could be seen that this Commander Shalala had a lot of power in this place. Even Emperor Xia had to use his own sons to curry favor with him. After Commander Shalala left, along the way, all the outsiders and humans lowered their heads, not daring to breathe loudly. This guy's power is really high. This palace was very big. Shalala walked for a long time and finally arrived in front of palace. Shalala requests to see the Fox Lady. At the entrance, Shalala was stopped by 2 powerful outsiders' guards. Fox Lady, is she the leader of this stronghold? After a while, the outsiders' guards came out again. Go in. Shalala's face did not show any displeasure. After entering the palace, Lin Fei immediately noticed that there was something different about this small palace. Every part of it was exquisite, unlike the rough exterior. Then Lin Fei saw 6 maids. Every one of them was enchanting. More importantly, the long tails behind them added to their allure. Demon race? Lin Fei was confused again. Above the 6 maids was a round table. The round table was decorated in an antique style. A pink chiffon separated the inside from the outside. Vaguely, one could see a woman lying inside. Greetings, Fox Lady. Shalala knelt down on one knee. Lin Fei was surprised. Shalala was a high-level loose immortal, but he still had to kneel. Get up. A lazy voice came from inside. What's the matter? The mighty God Empire is ready. Emperor Xia wants to know when our army will land on the Xiantian continent. Shalala asked respectfully. This is not something you should ask. It was still a lazy voice, but cold sweat appeared on Shalala's forehead. Go back and tell Emperor Xia that we will be notified when we will march on the continent. There is no need to rush. Yes. Shalala nodded. Have you found the person I want you to find? Yes. Shalala said, that person has become the supervisor of the Templar Church. He is currently in charge of the Templar Church branch in the mighty God Empire. Do you need me to capture him? Go and tell Emperor Xia to bring this Lin Fei here. Yes. Lin Fei, who had been paying attention, showed a rare look of doubt. Who is this Fox Lady? I don't know her. Why would I want Emperor Xia to bring me here? I don't remember offending this Fox Lady. In his memory, Lin Fei had never had any dealings with the demon race. Now that someone wanted to deal with him, he couldn't figure it out. Stop! Shalala, who was walking outside, suddenly heard a voice coming from behind her. Lady Fox Lady, is there anything else? Did you see a stranger from the human race today? Shalala didn't understand. Emperor Xia's 3 sons came. I met with them. Go down. The voice was filled with doubt. Lin Fei's heart moved. Could it be that this Fox Lady sensed something? After coming out, Shalala let out a long sigh of relief. What's wrong with the Fox Lady today? Shalala said to herself. Could it be that she is interested in the 3 princes? That shouldn't be possible. The fox lady doesn't seem to like men. Lin Fei didn't leave, although he wanted to know what this fox lady's background was. Knowing that the mighty god empire had colluded with the foreign races was enough. Perhaps the war on the continent was also provoked by the foreign races. If that was the case, it would be really troublesome. Who knew how many empires had colluded with the foreign races? If the army landed, it would be a one-sided situation. The foreign races were innately stronger than the human race. Shalala walked back and once again summoned Emperor Xia to convey the Fox Lady's opinion. Please help me tell Lady Fox Lady that this emperor will definitely bring Lin Fei to the savage world. Emperor Xia promised. I will definitely not let the commander down. Chapter 566. We've all been tricked by the foreign race's scheme. On that day, Lin Fei returned from the savage world and told her everything that had happened there. Lin Fei did not dare to talk about this level of information to others. If this news were to spread, it would definitely cause a stir in the continent. Lin Fei could only tell Lin Jiqing. They have paid a huge price for this day. The war will start soon. Lin Fei could do nothing about it. The mighty god empire has already sided with the foreign races. Many of the other empires have also sided with them, not to mention the dynasties below them. Lin Fei did not need to guess to know that this grand plan had taken hundreds of thousands of years, or even millions of years. Unfortunately, he had encountered it. Emperor Xia wants to deal with you. Should we make a move, or... Lin Jiqing was a decisive person. After having a man, she started to think for him. Lin Fei was conflicted. I'm thinking, I don't know the fox girl from the outside world. From her tone, she seems to know me very well. Her killing intent is not small. I really don't know how I offended such a person. After returning, Lin Fei had been thinking about this fox girl. Unfortunately, he had not found anything. Emperor Xia is extremely powerful now. According to the fox girl's request, he will invite you soon. As the supervisor, you have to give him face. Lin Jiqing was also worried. Why don't we leave? The mighty god empire was extremely powerful now. They had colluded with the foreign races. Emperor Xia himself was a high-level loose immortal. If that did not work, they could only choose to hide for a period of time. No need. Lin Fei shook his head. I also want to meet this fox girl. Why does she want to make a move on me? Don't worry. I won't go with my main body. My doppelganger can go in my place. Lin Jiqing suddenly understood. How could I forget that you have a doppelganger? However, sacrificing a doppelganger won't affect you much. Lin Fei smiled. It doesn't matter. I can have as many doppelgangers as I want. The doppelganger technique that he cultivated was different from the second doppelganger. It did not matter how many he lost. Do you want to inform the Saint Hall? This was also something that Lin Fei was conflicted about. Report? Don't report it? Lin Fei believed that as long as he reported it to the higher-ups, he would definitely be stopped. The news might not reach the higher-ups, and it might even alert the enemy. We'll see how it goes. In fact, Lin Fei had long been aware of the fluctuations within the Saint Hall. He believed that the Saint Hall had already received the news. Since that was the case, it did not matter much whether he reported it or not. In any case, it was obvious that the Saint Hall would not be able to do anything about it. You'd better let the sect master be prepared. Lin Fei reminded. If the alien army comes ashore, the Tenjin Temple will be the first target. I wonder if the sect leader will agree to this. Lin Jiqing was worried. You are the Holy Virgin of Tenjin Temple. You can call for help and contact people you trust. You'd better be prepared. As expected, on the afternoon of the second day, Emperor Xia arranged for someone to deliver an invitation letter, inviting Lin Fei to be his guest. As expected, he's here. Lin Fei received the invitation, but he did not accept it. You want me to go over with just one invitation? In your dreams, do you really think that you have such a high status? Needless to say, Lin Fei's move was very effective. After provoking Emperor Xia for a few days, Lin Fei reluctantly agreed. As for Emperor Xiao's mood, Lin Fei did not know. If the doppelganger is destroyed, we will leave immediately. Lin Fei was very strong. The mighty God Empire's current strength was not bad, especially after communicating with the savage world. It was not worth it to fight with such a behemoth. Once the doppelganger was destroyed in the savage world, Lin Fei did not plan to stay in the mighty God Empire any longer. Grand Palace Master does not believe it. Lin Jiqing looked worried. Such a big event like the alien invasion. Unless they see it with their own eyes, they will not agree. A bunch of stubborn old fools. Lin Fei cursed. Forget it. When the time comes, I will personally go and talk to them. If they really don't want to leave, it's their problem. Lin Fei did not want to give up on the Tenjin Temple. If there was a chance, he would fight for it again. He would not give up on this force until the time was right. That night, the person arranged by Emperor Xia came. Supervisor Lin, His Majesty specially asked me to pick you up. Lead the way. Lin Fei boarded the carriage. This doppelganger was also an emperor. This time, he did not bring any treasures to the savage world. If the other side attacked, it would be almost impossible to return. Since this was the case, Lin Fei was too lazy to continue wasting time. If he did not bring any equipment, he would not be in a good mood even if he lost them. A dozen emperor-level doppelgangers might be good on the continent, but in the savage world they were nothing. They could be easily killed. Supervisor Lin, you really made it easy for me to invite you. Emperor Xia welcomed him with a smile. Emperor Xia, as the supervisor, I am very busy. Please don't take it to heart. Lin Fei said seriously. No one could find an excuse for him. Emperor Xia was indeed very angry. He had invited him many times, but he did not come. He was clearly not giving him face. If it was not for the fact that he could not go against the Saint Hall, Emperor Xia would have personally captured him. When Lin Fei finally came, Emperor Xia was relieved. Now that he had come to his territory, he would not be able to escape from his hands. This emperor can understand this. Emperor Xia said, Supervisor Lin, this emperor has an important matter that I need you to convey to the higher-ups of the Saint Hall. Here comes the show. Lin Fei hurriedly revealed a solemn expression. Could it be that something big has happened? Emperor Xia looked around with a solemn expression. This place is not safe. Let's change to another place. This emperor has been infiltrated by a mysterious force. Lin Fei had a look of surprise. Ah, it seems that this matter is very serious. If it is really something big, I will definitely convey it to the higher-ups. Let's change to another place. If it wasn't for Lin Fei knowing beforehand, he might really believe Emperor Xiao's words. Whether it was his emotions or the fluctuations of his divine sense, without exception, this matter was extremely serious. Very quickly, the two of them changed to another place. Teleportation array? Lin Fei revealed a look of surprise. Is it really that serious? Everyone by this emperor's side is trustworthy. Emperor Xia said solemnly, Behind this teleportation array is a space that I refined. Apart from me, no one else can enter this teleportation array. Lin Fei revealed a look of realization. He thought to himself, You old fellow, you really know how to hold banquets. The two of them entered the teleportation array. Emperor Xia secretly heaved a sigh of relief. He was quite proud of himself. And here I thought that this Lin Fei would be powerful, but in the end he still fell for it. Now that we are in the savage world, there is no need for you to return. We are here. When the two of them appeared, Emperor Xia, what is the meaning of this? As soon as Lin Fei appeared, a black mass of foreign races surrounded him. They formed a spear and locked their killing intent onto him. Lady Foxgirl wants to see you. Emperor Xia's tone changed. Xia Emperor, how dare you collude with the foreign races? Lin Fei was enraged as he roared out. Emperor Xia lightly said, "Don't make it sound so bad. This is not colluding with the foreign races. It is just a choice. What's so bad about choosing the foreign races? At least they are stronger than us humans. You should think about yourself. If you don't want to die here, it is best if you don't do anything extreme." Lin Fei's anger had not subsided yet. "Sooner or later, you will regret your choice. The commander is here." Commander Shalala arrived. His gaze was dignified. "Emperor Xia, is he that Lin Fei?" Emperor Xia respectfully said, "He is the Lin Fei that the fox girl wanted to see. I have successfully brought him here." "Lin Fei? I don't think so." Shalala had a look of disdain. "I really don't know why the fox girl wants to see you. Now come with me." Lin Fei was very straightforward. "It is not a dragon's den. If you want to go, then go. What is there to worry about?" Once again, they arrived at their original position. "Lady Fox Girl, we have brought the person you wanted to see. Bring him in." Shalala and Emperor Xia brought Lin Fei in. Just like the last time they met, the figure on the round platform was still faintly discernible, and there was a faint fragrance in the air. "Greetings, Fox Girl." Shalala and Emperor Xia spoke in unison. "Shalala, Emperor Xia, you have done well." A seductive voice came from behind the veil. "Now you can go out. Without my permission, no one is allowed to come in." "Yes." The fox girls, standing around the round platform, soon disappeared. Only the fox girl and Lin Fei were left in the hall. "Lin Fei, do you know that I hate you very much?" What was going on? Lin Fei was confused. This was the most inexplicable thing in the world. "Well, I have nothing to do with you. Can you explain things clearly so that I can understand? You deserve to die. You must die." Inside the round platform, the fox girl's cold voice came out. The temperature in the hall instantly dropped. It was a killing intent that came from the depths of her heart. Even a resentful woman's killing intent was not this heavy, right? Lin Fei muttered in his heart. "Hey, if you want to kill me, you have to tell me the reason, okay?" Lin Fei was speechless. "I thought that you would be very powerful, but now it seems that you are only SOSO." The voice from the round platform continued, "I will only feel comfortable after I kill you." Lin Fei was infuriated. He kept talking about killing. What was this? "Damn, you want to kill me? This father will kill you." No one would feel good if a complete stranger were to threaten to kill them. Lin Fei was no exception. He raised his hand and sent a palm strike over. This palm contained the strength of more than 10 emperors of Lin Fei. Its power was peerless. "Resist! The strength that you are so proud of is too weak in my eyes." A white light slashed out from the round platform, shattering Lin Fei's attack. The white light continued to slash down. "Killing an ant like you is a waste of my hands and feet. Fox Girl, I will remember you." Lin Fei did not block it. This attack was no weaker than a high-level loose immortal's attack. It was purposely trying to kill Lin Fei in one hit. Boom! The white light slashed onto Lin Fei's body. This clone also shattered. Lin Fei chose to self-destruct. He would not let the other party kill him for nothing. He had to teach the other party a lesson. Clone? Lin Fei's self-destruction was equivalent to the self-destruction of more than 10 emperors. The space immediately collapsed, and a huge self-destruction force swept out. Suddenly, a white light appeared on the round platform, and a huge white fox appeared out of thin air. It opened its mouth and swallowed the power of the explosion in one gulp. "Lord Foxgirl, what happened?" Shalala and Emperor Xia rushed in. In the main hall, other than the round platform, the other places were razed to the ground. "Emperor Xia, what are you doing?" Emperor Xia's expression changed. He lowered his head. "Lord Foxgirl, what did I do wrong?" His mind was spinning rapidly. He could not understand what he had done wrong. Shalala, who was next to her, had the same expression. Fox lady, is there a misunderstanding? Emperor Xia is diligent. Humph, diligent. I want to ask Emperor Xia, why did you send a clone over? Fox girl laughed. Her tone was full of sarcasm. Chapter 567. Emperor Xia finally understood why the vixen was so angry. Lin Fei didn't come with his main body, but with a clone. The vixen couldn't help but be angry. With Lin Fei's strength, it's impossible for him to create a clone, unless it's a second primordial spirit. No, it's impossible for Lin Fei to have a second primordial spirit. Emperor Xia defended himself. If he didn't leave an explanation for this, Emperor Xia would definitely leave an impression of incompetence in the eyes of the vixen. The Xia Emperor absolutely did not wish for such a thing to happen. However, he would never have imagined that Lin Fei would send a clone over. But given Lin Fei's level of cultivation and his level of strength, it would be very difficult for him to create a clone. A clone could only be created by a high-level loose immortal. This clone's strength was at the level of an emperor. After all, a clone only had a portion of the main body strength. If Lin Fei came with a clone, Emperor Xia, who was a high-level loose immortal, would be able to tell at a glance. But reality proved that he was wrong. Second primordial spirit? Emperor Xia directly denied it. Second primordial spirits were very difficult to cultivate and required special materials. Emperor Xia knew that those who cultivated second primordial spirits cared a lot about their primordial spirits. Would Lin Fei arrange for a second primordial spirit to come? That was impossible. Then the only possibility was that Lin Fei used a secret technique to create a clone. This clone was exactly the same as the main body, even the aura was the same. Lord Vixen, this matter shouldn't be blamed on Emperor Xia. Sha Lala explained for Emperor Xia, Lin Fei is too cunning. I don't know how he knew our secret in advance. I think it's necessary to bring forward the Empire's matter. Emperor Xia hurriedly fought for an opportunity for himself. Lord Vixen, you must forgive me. I was tricked by Lin Fei. There definitely won't be a next time. From the bottom of his heart, Emperor Xia hated Lin Fei to death. He wanted to kill him immediately. He almost had no impression of him at all. Emperor Xia knew better than anyone that if he left a bad impression, he would be finished. Fox Vixen was the holy maiden who supervised the war. Every region had a holy maiden in charge of supervising the war. It was conceivable that if Emperor Xia left a bad impression, it could be said that he had offended the saint of the highest level. A single word from him would be enough to erase all the credit. As for the rest, there was no need to think about it. We'll attack in 3 days. The fox girl had never felt so humiliated before. She had been played by a clone. Thinking about this, she immediately gnashed her teeth. Understood. Shalala and the Xia Emperor immediately nodded. He could finally make his move. What about this Lin Fei? Sha Alala bit the bullet. Lin Fei should know our intentions. Otherwise, he wouldn't have arranged for a doppelganger. The fox girl quickly calmed down. You don't need to worry about Lin Fei. He won't wait for you to come to him. Attack him with all your might. On the Tenjin Temple. As soon as Lin Fei's doppelganger was destroyed, he immediately knew. Damn it, this bitch has such a strong killing intent. The doppelganger was equivalent to Lin Fei's eyes. He saw everything, but until now, he had not come up with a conclusion. Jealousy? From the fox girl. Lin Fei at least felt a sense of jealousy, but this had nothing to do with him. What was she jealous of? What was she jealous of? Lin Fei could only say that it was boring. Let's go. Lin Fei stood up. My doppelganger was destroyed. I'm afraid they will start to move. Originally, Lin Fei wanted to know what this fox girl's origin was and why she was looking for him. But as soon as she opened her mouth, she revealed her killing intent. Not only was he unable to find out anything, he even lost a doppelganger. Lin Fei didn't care much about a doppelganger. He also knew that the mighty god empire couldn't continue. If he didn't leave, they would deal with him. The Grand Palace Master is so hesitant. When Lin Fei's doppelganger left, Lin Jiqing had already communicated with the Palace Master's Son of Heaven. Unfortunately, there was no clear answer. "I'll go and see." The position of supervisor, Lin Fei didn't care much about it. The Tenjin Temple was a force worth roping in, and he didn't want the Tenjin Temple to be the first target of the mighty god Empire's attack. Lin Fei wanted to see the Palace Master's Son of Heaven. His journey was smooth, and he instantly saw the other party. "Supervisor Lin, please sit." The Son of Heaven greeted him warmly. Lin Fei waved his hand. "No need. I want to know if the Palace Master has thought about it. I want to know the result." The Palace Master's Son of Heaven was slightly startled. He didn't expect that he would come for this matter. "Supervisor Lin, is this matter really that serious? Could it be just hearsay?" The Son of Heaven didn't believe that the foreign races would collude with the mighty god Empire. On the Xiantian continent, every empire was an overlord, and every emperor was a great figure on the continent. Colluding with the foreign races? How was that possible? The Son of Heaven didn't want to believe what Lin Fei said. The most important thing was to lead everyone away from the Tenjin Temple, which would prove the saying, "It's hard to change one's home." Apart from this, the whole Tenjin Temple was rooted in the Tenjin Temple. Relocating was a big problem. Lin Fei frowned. "So, the Palace Master hasn't thought about it?" The Son of Heaven smiled bitterly. "This is not something I can decide alone." Lin Fei reached out and condensed a ball of air. He pulled it outwards, and it quickly formed a light screen. A scene quickly appeared on the light screen. The foreign races. The Son of Heaven was shocked and couldn't believe it. Lin Fei extracted his own memory, formed a light screen, and released it as it was. The choice was up to the Son of Heaven himself. He just proposed a solution. "Palace Master, this matter concerns our Tenjin Temple. We can't hesitate." Lin Jiqing persuaded. The Son of Heaven was convinced. "I have to discuss this with the Elder Council. I can only give you 1 hour." Lin Fei couldn't wait too long. "Can I take this away?" "Yes." Lin Fei copied a light screen for him. The Son of Heaven tore open the void and disappeared. The Son of Heaven is still hesitating. Lin Fei shook his head. He hasn't really made a decision. Lin Jiqing also saw it. The matter was too serious. It was hard to choose. It would not be easy for a first-grade sect to leave. There were too many things to worry about. As the Grand Palace Master, it was not easy for the Divine Son to make such a decision. Lin Fei had said this much. How the other side chose was their own business. He had done what he could. After the time it took for an incense to burn, the Son of Heaven returned. "Sect Master, what did they say?" Lin Jiqing was the most anxious. She wanted to know the result. The Son of Heaven smiled bitterly. "Supervisor Lin, thank you for your kindness. We have decided to stay. Sect Master, how can you do this?" Lin Jiqing was anxious. She didn't expect this result. She couldn't accept it. From the moment the Son of Heaven came out, Lin Fei knew the Son of Heaven's choice. This choice was expected and nothing surprising. "Have you decided?" The Son of Heaven also knew that his words would hurt the other party's feelings. "Supervisor Lin, thank you for your kindness. Our Tenjin Temple has been passed down for 50,000 years. If I leave, I will become a sinner of the sect. I won't be able to forgive myself. Moreover, the godly Might Empire won't dare to make a move. We, the Tenjin Temple, are not to be trifled with. Sect Master, they have colluded with the demonic races. With our strength." Lin Jiqing still wanted to persuade him. "We, the Tenjin Temple, have our trump cards." The Son of Heaven said, "You don't have to persuade me. However, you can take some people with you." Since things had come to this, Lin Fei wouldn't say anything more. The Son of Heaven had made his decision. From the bottom of his heart, Lin Fei felt that they were too stubborn. It was just a change of location. What was there to be upset about? Grand Palace Master, this is where I will be staying from now on. Lin Fei gave an address. You can come and look for me. The Son of Heaven refused to leave. The last thing Lin Fei could do was to tell the Son of Heaven where he would be staying. Perhaps after the demonic race's attack, the Son of Heaven would come around. I will, the Son of Heaven said, coming out of the Tenjin Temple. Lin Jiqing was very depressed. Your Tenjin Temple has the mountain defense, Grand Array. I believe they won't be able to attack it for a while. When the time comes, they will come around. Lin Fei comforted her. If the demonic races attack, they will definitely come with a large army. If they can't stop them, they will naturally leave. Lin Fei did not believe that the outsiders' army would be able to easily take down the Heavenly Deity Palace. After all, the Heavenly Deity Palace had been able to stand for so long. They definitely had their own trump cards. They definitely had high-tier loose immortals. When you leave, you can take those people away. Lin Fei suddenly said, This is another way of responding. Very soon, a few elders sent a group of elite disciples. There were about 500 of them. They were all young and energetic. They were quite strong. They were equivalent to the future core of the Tenjin Temple. When he saw the disciples, Lin Fei seemed to understand the Son of Heaven's intention. He was staking everything on this one throw. As long as the Tenjin Temple had these disciples, it could recover part of its strength after 100 years. It wouldn't really end the incense of the Tenjin Temple. The Son of Heaven made his choice. Lin Fei took them into the worship and left with Lin Jiqing. Grand Palace Master, you really put in a lot of effort. On the peak of the Tenjin Temple, the Son of Heaven watched Lin Fei leave. Lin Jiqing found a good man. Even if the Tenjin Temple really appears one day, the Tenjin Temple will continue in another way. The Son of Heaven said calmly, moreover, the demonic races might not be that powerful. Our Tenjin Temple will become famous after this battle and surpass the ranks of a sect. The Son of Heaven wanted to bet on the limited number of the demonic race's army and that they couldn't attack the Tenjin Temple. Lin Fei didn't return to the Saint Hall. He could imagine that once his doppelganger died, the other party would definitely speed up their actions. In other words, the demonic race's invasion should be very soon. Lin Fei had to make arrangements for Lin Jiqing first. The Sin Paradise was currently a relatively safe place. Although there were still a few tyrannical high-level loose immortals, they wouldn't lose face for the time being, and there was nothing to worry about. Those top-notch loose immortals were also powerful. Lin Fei naturally wouldn't keep them alive to prevent them from spoiling his plans. Once his strength increased, he would definitely teach those loose immortals a lesson. Little Qing, I still have a woman in the Sin Paradise. On the way, Lin Fei told her frankly. He had wanted to tell her about this before, but due to various reasons he had to postpone it. After saying this, Lin Fei was quite worried that Lin Jiqing would be angry. No matter where a woman was, they would always have a jealous side. He secretly observed Lin Jiqing and was surprised to find that there was no anger on her face. You think I will be angry? Lin Fei laughed dryly. I have such a thought. I wonder what is the name of this sister of mine. Lin Jiqing chuckled. This is a world of experts. Every expert can have many women. Ever since I was sensible, I have understood that as long as you have me in your heart, I will be satisfied. Lin Fei held Lin Jiqing's hand tightly. I will. You are my first woman. You will always have a place in my heart, no matter now or in the future. Lin Fei thought that Lin Jiqing would be angry, but it was the opposite. He didn't expect such an outcome. Chapter 568. Sin Paradise was still a paradise for the wicked. Lin Fei didn't announce his return. Almost no one knew that the Tower Master of Mythology Tower had returned. After arranging for the disciples of Tenjin Temple to be brought out by the Son of Heaven, they were equivalent to Lin Fei's people. When they found out that this was the Sin Paradise Everyone was shocked. As disciples of the heavenly god Palace, they all knew about the sin paradise. This was a place where evil people ran amok. This was a paradise for the wicked. Similarly, this was the best place to sell illegal goods. All along, Sin Paradise was loved by everyone. However, without some strength, one wouldn't dare to come to this place. If they were careless, they might encounter a wicked person. Every elite disciple of Tenjin Temple admired Lin Fei for being able to establish a large gang in Sin Paradise, a top-notch gang at that. Lin Fei didn't need to deal with them. They were all well-behaved. Lin Fei's strength had long been imprinted in their hearts. This must be little sister Jean Fong. When the two girls met for the first time, Lin Fei couldn't sense that killing intent for the time being. However, he could sense Lin Jiqing's strength. Lin Fei wasn't surprised that she wanted to be the boss. He would let them handle their own matters. Jean Fong, this is Lin Jiqing. The two of you should be intimate. After introducing the two, Lin Fei slipped away. It was better for Lin Fei not to interfere in the matters between women. He didn't want to be caught in the middle. Although he wasn't worried about this, if it happened, Lin Fei wouldn't know what to do. Without women, he would think about women. However, when there were too many women, the problem would arise. Lin Fei hoped that the two of them wouldn't fight. That would be the most troublesome thing. He couldn't be partial to one or the other. This was the most painful thing in the world. After leaving, Lin Fei didn't hear any fluctuations. He felt relieved. At least the worst situation wouldn't happen. The two women were still relatively amiable, and they did not fight as soon as they met. Lin Fei quickly arrived at another space. There were many spaces inside the 8 Desolation 6 Directional Cauldron. As soon as he entered another dimension, he saw a group of fellows huddled together. It was hard to tell what they were enjoying. "Brett, you came at the right time. Have a taste of my food." The pot-bellied true immortal was dressed in chef's clothes, and he had even taken over the tools that Lin Fei had bought for himself. From afar, he looked just like a chef. "You came back just in time." Hairball brought back an Emperor's 2-headed dragon. Hairball had always been elusive. Lin Fei couldn't do anything to her. Undefeatable True Immortal and the others all knew who Hairball was. Flood Dragon. Lin Fei was shocked. This Hairball was getting bolder and bolder. "Master, have a taste. It's delicious." Hairball's figure didn't change much, just like a child that couldn't grow up. Lin Fei didn't say anything. He tasted the dragon meat that was served. Both sides were golden yellow, and it was barbecued. It emitted a fragrant aroma. "It tastes really good. You guys really know how to enjoy life." Ever since Lin Fei taught the pot-bellied True Immortal some of the tricks of barbecuing, he easily grasped it. Back on Earth, Lin Fei would often go barbecuing, and his friends gave him a barbecue prince. No matter what barbecue, Lin Fei was quite good at it. He knew some of the tricks better than anyone else. Pot-bellied True Immortal understood the principles behind it after listening for a bit. His barbecue skills also improved. "It's all thanks to your Hairball." Pot-bellied True Immortal chuckled. He didn't look like a high-level loose immortal at all. "If I could get a real dragon, that would be even more satisfying. If I add some demonic beasts, I could cook a pot of perfect tonic soup. The taste is simply amazing." "Brat, why did you come back? Aren't you having fun over there?" Undefeatable True Immortal asked curiously. "I thought you would only come back after half a year." "Sigh, I wanted to as well." Lin Fei sighed. "Unfortunately, the heavens don't want me to stay. In that case, I can only come back." Shang Guanhong frowned. He heard Lin Fei's tone and asked what happened. "The outsiders are going to attack the continent." Lin Fei didn't hide it. After all, everyone would find out soon enough. "What? The outsiders are attacking the continent? How is that possible?" Undefeatable True Immortal was the first to believe it. "Those outsiders have been losing people for hundreds of thousands of years. They can't even break through the border defenses. Attacking the continent? Isn't this a bit too unrealistic? Flower Demon True Immortal said, "Are you mistaken? Why would the outsiders attack the continent?" It was no wonder they thought this way. It had been hundreds of thousands of years, and the outsiders were nothing special. Now that they said they were going to attack the continent, they didn't believe it. They didn't have the ability to believe it. Take a look at this. You'll understand. Lin Fei didn't explain. A screen of light appeared in front of them, and the scene of the savage world was displayed. This is the vertical eye race. Their eyes contain a destructive divine light. I know this too. They are from the demon race. The green vine race specializes in vine attacks. They are a very powerful race. Everyone's expression changed drastically. This memory couldn't be faked. They all recognized the outsiders, especially some of the more powerful ones. Damn, the outsiders found the long-lost teleportation tower. Lin Fei briefly explained the situation to them, and they immediately came to a realization. The teleportation tower is a high-grade formation that can open up a spatial tunnel. It's like opening up a tunnel between two worlds. Once the tunnel is completed, it's very hard for external forces to destroy it. Scarlet Refining, Heavenly Demon, was very familiar with this. He then asked Lin Fei, "You said that the outsiders are attacking the continent. Are there many of these tunnels?" Lin Fei smiled bitterly. "If I'm not wrong, there should be many. The outsiders have infiltrated the continent and colluded with the empires and dynasties. They spent a lot of resources to build many teleportation towers. I didn't expect that after so long. The outsiders are still so ambitious." Shang Guanhong's expression was solemn. It seems like they have planned for a long time this time. They want to truly swallow up the Xiantian continent. They still didn't understand after the war back then. Lin Fei heard something, Senior Shangguan. The outsiders were heavily injured in the past. "I know this." Sword Immortal Wine drank a mouthful of wine. "This matter happened a long time ago. I also heard from some seniors that this alien race started a war and occupied many small and big worlds. They attempted to rule this mortal world and become the true overlord. They also destroyed the foundations of the various sects in the heaven realm. Almost all of the sects in the heaven realm came from the mortal world. Because of this, the sects in the heaven realm were furious. They sent down immortal clones to kill the experts of the alien race and seal them. I didn't expect them to make a comeback." Lin Fei also didn't expect that the outsiders were so ambitious. They tried to rule the mortal world. No wonder the heaven realm's sects were so enraged that they sent down immortal clones. Last time, the outsiders tried to rule the mortal world. This time, isn't it enough? Lin Fei was curious. This way, no matter how powerful the outsiders are, won't it be useless? Lin Fei had indeed thought of this. Back then, the heaven realm's sects made a move. This time, they would definitely make a move as well. No matter how much trouble the outsiders caused, it wasn't a serious matter, Sword Immortal Wine snorted. If that was the case, the outsiders wouldn't have mobilized so many people. After the incident back then, in order to prevent the outsiders from attacking the heaven realm through the Xiantian continent, they sealed and reinforced all the passages to the various realms. Now, if they want to come down from above, they need to have a powerful expert to open a spatial passage. Even if they come down, they only have 1% of their strength, which is the heaven immortal level. Lin Fei was surprised. Barely at the heaven immortal level. That's right. Many of the old antiques in our world have the battle strength of the heaven immortal level. They keep suppressing their strength and don't ascend to the heaven realm. Those almighty experts, clones, might not be able to deal with everyone on the continent. This time, the outsiders came in such a menacing manner. It should be some experts who broke the seal and came out, at least with the battle strength of the heaven immortal level. Lin Fei's face darkened. If that was really the case, wouldn't the Xiantian continent be in chaos? Back then, those who were sealed were all the strongest experts of the outsiders. They were very powerful. Those clones that came down from the heaven realm were limited in strength and couldn't be killed. They could only be sealed. I wonder how many experts broke the seal this time. The invincible true immortals said. I heard that back then the strongest of the outsiders had 10 kings. They were called the 10 great divine kings. Each of them had the battle strength of a heaven immortal. Above the 10 great divine kings was the Holy Mother. Back then she was famous. Lin Fei had thought that there wouldn't be many old monsters with the battle strength of a heaven immortal in this world. He didn't expect that the outsiders had 10 great divine kings and a Holy Mother. Each of them had the battle strength of a heaven immortal. They were sealed but didn't die. Now that 1,000,000 years had passed, perhaps even more, they were probably even more powerful. Although the 4 great fiends made it sound simple, everyone's expressions changed. Those who weren't heaven immortals would never know the power of heaven immortals. High-level loose immortals were very powerful, right? But if they had the battle strength of a heaven immortal, their bodies would first become the bodies of heaven immortals. Their defense alone was not something that high-level loose immortals could break. As for their attacks, it was needless to say. Each heaven immortal could easily kill high-level loose immortals. Join forces? That was just a joke. Mid-level loose immortals might be able to fight high-level loose immortals. But there was a huge gap between high-level loose immortals and heaven immortals. It was an existence that couldn't be crossed. The 4 great fiends were famous, but they didn't dare to attack heaven immortals. It was a completely different level of confrontation. The space turned silent. This time the continent is really going to be in trouble. True immortal wine sighed. This kind of thing was already unstoppable. The old antiques and old monsters who were cultivating in seclusion might only appear when they were in danger. Every one of them who had the battle strength of a heaven immortal was suppressing their strength to prevent themselves from flying to the heaven realm. In this world, they could be high and mighty existences, but in the heaven realm, they were lowly existences. No one knew better than them how the two were compared. In the eyes of others, the heaven realm might be a place that they yearned for, but they lacked that kind of yearning. Lin Fei, the continent, is going to be in chaos. It is also a good opportunity to develop. Suddenly, Scarlet Refined Heavenly Devil said excitedly, Your mythical gate can absorb even more experts. Others might need a few hundred years to develop. But to you, your mythical gate might not even need 10 years to become a peak power. As a member of the Heavenly Devil race, Scarlet Refined Heavenly Devil didn't have much to worry about. Instead, he realized that this was an opportunity. Maybe I can take advantage of this opportunity to increase my strength by leaps and bounds and become a heaven immortal. Old devil in your dreams, don't forget about the heavenly tribulation. Shang Guanhong said. Scarlet Refined Heavenly Devil laughed heartily. Heavenly tribulation? Have you forgotten what I am? I am a heavenly devil, other than becoming a heaven immortal. There are no other heavenly tribulations. The only thing our heavenly devil race needs to do is to constantly devour each other, especially the various powerful loose immortals. Everyone suddenly realized that they had almost forgotten about the origin of heavenly devils. Heavenly devils weren't humans, nor were they loose immortals. They didn't need to face heavenly tribulations, but loose immortals did. In comparison, heavenly devils had a huge advantage. The only heavenly tribulation they had to face was when they became heaven immortals. Let's just take it one step at a time. Invincible true immortals said, No one knows whether the mutated races will really attack. Maybe in 10 years, maybe in 100 years. There are many factions within the mutated races. It isn't easy to make a decision. Everyone thought about it and felt that it was true. For such a big operation, they had to be consistent. Otherwise, it would be a huge problem. Lin Fei thought about it and felt that it was reasonable. He was a supervisor. Even if he spread the news of the mutated race's attack to the St. Hall, whether or not they would act was one thing. Whether or not they would act was another. Therefore, no one could be sure of this matter. Lin Fei couldn't be sure, and neither could they. Only the mutated races would know when to act. Kid, the only thing you have to do now is to expand your influence in the mythology sect. Shang Guanhong reminded Lin Fei. This is something you have to do immediately. Regardless of whether the mutated races attack or not, you have to do it. I suggest that you start the auction in a month. Lin Fei nodded. A month is too long. It isn't a good thing. Let's start in 5 days. This auction will be a success. Your current elixirs are a type of advantage. In the entire continent, you have the blood replenishing elixir, potential breaking elixir, and emperor breaking elixir. No matter which one you choose, they are all top-grade elixirs. Lin Fei understood how much they valued his elixirs. He also knew the benefits of these elixirs. When was the best time to sell elixirs? Undoubtedly, it was during the chaos of war. Everyone needed elixirs. No matter how high the price was, they would still fight to buy them. The elixirs that Lin Fei auctioned were also very good. No one would reject them. There was only one result, and that was to become famous. When the elixirs became famous, everyone would be envious of them. Lin Fei didn't hesitate. He would start the auction in 5 days. Regardless of whether he reached that step or not, he would auction them first. In any case, he wouldn't suffer any losses. He could use this opportunity to build up his reputation. Chapter 569. Emperor Xia, who had just returned, was very happy to hear the news. Lin Fei was like a fly in a pot of porridge. How disgusting! Tenjin Temple hasn't left. Emperor Xia asked again, eager to know the result. Tenjin Temple hasn't made any movements for the time being, a subordinate reported. Emperor Xia was puzzled. What was going on? Could it be that Lin Fei hadn't told Tenjin Temple about this matter? In the mighty God Empire, Emperor Xia had a certain degree of apprehension towards Tenjin Temple. Other sects could be annihilated at a whim. When one reached a certain position, such as Emperor Xia's, he had to consider more important matters. Compared to others, he was more suspicious. Tenjin Temple hadn't made any movements, so Emperor Xia couldn't guess their intentions. Continue to watch. This emperor wants to know their every move. Emperor Xia was helpless and could only continue to watch. The army will arrive in 3 days. If you don't submit, you will all perish. Emperor Xia thought, and that stinking brat Lin Fei. I will teach him a lesson sooner or later. He almost ruined this emperor's plan. With the fox girl's attitude, as long as this emperor can kill you, it will be a great merit. No one can stop this emperor from rising to the top. Emperor Xia was smarter than ordinary people, and he could guess some things. What's important now is to coordinate with the army. Lin Fei's matter will be put aside for now. Men, what was the most sensational news in Sin Paradise recently? It wasn't the destruction of the 8 major forces. That was an old story. Currently, the most sensational news was the 3 kinds of elixirs that the Mythology Pavilion was auctioning. The auction was supposed to be held a month later, but for some unknown reason, it was brought forward to 5 days later. This news was absolutely exciting to those experts who had been waiting for the elixirs. Countless people cheered for the early start of the auction. Blood replenishing pill, potential pill, emperor breaking pill. No matter which one it was, without exception, became everyone's first choice. 70% of his injuries were healed. Potential pill burst out with a powerful attack, but the side effect was to rest for half a year. Emperor breaking pill, 80%. Regardless of which pill it was, the news spread like wildfire. The villains of Sin Paradise, big and small, were more familiar with these 3 pills than anyone else. The news of the mythological tower obtaining Gufang's 8 trigrams quietly spread outside. Regardless of whether everyone believed it or not, the storm was getting more and more intense. The mythical tower. Is there any movement from Tenjin Temple? 3 days had passed. Lin Fei had arranged for the Mythology Tower's men to keep an eye on the Tenjin Temple. He was prepared for the mighty god imperial family's movements. What about the royal family? Everything is calm. There's no change at all. Listening to his subordinates report, Lin Fei was surprised. What was the mighty god imperial family planning? Did they know that he wouldn't spread the news? Keep watching. Lin Fei could only continue to watch. At this time, Lin Jiqing and Jean Feng came in together. The two women were getting along well. The elder sister was long and the younger sister was short. Even Lin Fei was surprised. The friendship between two women improved so quickly. If this was on Earth, wouldn't the whole world know about it? Hugging one woman in each arm? Had they watched too many movies? Jean Feng and Lin Jiqing were getting along well, so Lin Fei could rest assured. Jiqing, you came at the right time. The Tenjin Temple is safe for the time being. Don't worry, Lin Fei said. He knew that Lin Jiqing was worried. Maybe it's as they said. The mighty god imperial family won't dare to make a move for the time being. Lin Jiqing's expression relaxed. That's good. All right, you two sisters came together. You look very happy. Don't tell me something good happened. Lin Fei changed the topic. Jean Feng smiled. Husband, do you know that the whole Sin Paradise is talking about our elixirs? There are many external forces preparing to participate in the auction every day. This was all within Lin Fei's expectations. Of course, Lin Fei smiled proudly. No matter which one of these three elixirs it is, they will all have a great effect on them. It would be strange if they could sit still. We invited a total of 30 forces. Many are begging us to give them the qualifications for the auction. Should we give them more? Jean Feng asked. Jean Feng was in charge of the auction. She was a strong woman. No matter where she went, she couldn't stay idle. Lin Fei handed the auction to Jean Feng. Lin Fei didn't need to do anything. Jean Feng could easily make them obedient with her own methods. Lin Fei shook his head and said, There's no need. 30 powers are enough. If there are too many, it will have an impact. Why don't you come to the next auction? The top 10 powers with the highest bids will get a seat in the next auction. We want to monopolize the market and beg them to buy our pills. In the system store, these 3 elixirs looked very good. In fact, they were very cheap. A few million points each. Get lost. At that time, Lin Fei also thought that these elixirs were worth at least 1 million points. But who knew that the elixirs in the system store were very cheap, except for some supreme emperor-grade elixirs. How cheap could they be? Lin Fei could only say that it was a sky-high price. If the alchemists in the continent knew about this, they would probably lose the mood to refine elixirs. Lin Fei suspected that these elixirs were refined by machines. Otherwise, the sky-high price? Dream on. The price of the medicinal pill had skyrocketed, and the person who benefited the most was Lin Fei. After buying immortal arts and wine, Lin Fei still had about 100 million points. It was more than enough to buy elixirs. Although it couldn't be piled up like a mountain, it was more than enough to control the market. This is a good idea. Why didn't I think of it before? Every force that comes here has a lot of true essence crystals. Using a few billion to buy a seat shouldn't be a problem, right? Jean Feng suddenly understood. She looked at Lin Fei with admiration. Lin Fei chuckled. Don't look at me like that. Otherwise, I'll be embarrassed. Who told your husband to be so smart? Anyway, they don't care about money. They're the ones who are being ripped off. You'll believe it. Every auction, this seat will be infinitely higher. Everything was as Lin Fei expected. When Jean Feng auctioned the qualifications for the next auction, whether it was an individual or a force, everyone was tempted. Because this was the first time the people who came were either individuals or clans. There weren't many people from sections. Even so, Sin Paradise was still very lively. The 10 qualifications for the auction undoubtedly made those who couldn't get in this time wild with joy. They started to fight for the 10 seats. This auction didn't give the qualifications on the spot. Instead, they would be ranked according to the bid price. If one persisted for 10 days, they would be able to obtain a seat. Black-hearted, Everyone understood what this meant. There were still people fighting for the seats. Suddenly, the number of spectators increased. Jean Fong didn't seem to care. The first auction had yet to start. Once the auction ended and the effects of the elixir spread, these 10 qualifications would be a huge battle. It would be a great battle, a battlefield filled with invisible smoke. Under everyone's anticipation, the day's auction officially began. The 30 invited forces all felt especially proud. After all, the Mythology Tower was a major force. If they recognized a force, others would also recognize it. Although the forces that couldn't be recognized didn't care about the Mythology Tower's recognition, they still cared about the elixirs. In the circle of elixirs, almost everyone was familiar with the effects of the elixirs. If the elixirs that the Mythology Tower was going to auction had shocking effects and were as amazing as the rumors said, they had to obtain them regardless of the price. This was especially so for the 30 forces. Some hostile forces that weren't invited definitely didn't want to fall behind. If their hostile forces obtained the elixirs and increased their strength, it would be a kind of pressure on them. Those who went against the invitation had used all kinds of methods to get the latest information out so that they could be prepared for it. It could be said that the Mythology Tower's first auction had stirred up the hearts of countless people. However, they didn't dare to do anything against such a major force that was so ruthless. They could only behave themselves. The auction was no different from the usual ones. At the start, there were some decent items. Of course, in the eyes of some people, these items weren't considered much. The only thing they were looking forward to was the auction of the elixirs. There weren't many people bidding at the start. It could be said that everyone was here for the elixirs and wouldn't waste any time on them. Of course, this was a necessary process. Now it's time for the auction of the final item. As the auctioneer's emotions surged, the major forces present finally showed signs of excitement. The elixirs were finally put on the stage. The first elixir is the blood replenishing pill. It can recover 70% of injuries and is definitely the king of all healing elixirs. The auctioneer spoke eloquently, describing the blood replenishing pill as a miraculous elixir descended from the heavens. Since this is the Mythology Tower's first auction, we'll get someone to demonstrate it for everyone to understand. Even though the major forces had heard of the rumors, this was the first time they were seeing the effects. They were looking forward to the blood replenishing pill. After all, in the current market, the best healing elixir had a recovery effect of 50%. This price was already very expensive. As for healing elixirs that could recover 70% to 80%, it wasn't that there weren't any, but they were rather precious. They required a large amount of medicinal herbs and had a low success rate. Most of them were life-saving elixirs, and very few of them were taken out for sale. If the blood replenishing pill could really recover 70% of injuries, it would definitely be the #1 healing elixir. Who wouldn't be willing to carry healing elixirs around? They might be able to save their lives at crucial moments. As for the price, it didn't matter to them. In the face of their lives, money was insignificant. If they didn't see it for themselves, they would suspect that if the blood replenishing pill was really as miraculous as its name suggested, the Mythology Tower's rise was inevitable. How a major force could rise quickly involved many factors. However, if you had some kind of elixir that ordinary people couldn't have, it would definitely be a shortcut to rise quickly. As long as you could hold on to it, everything was possible. In order to prove the miraculous effects of the blood replenishing pill, the Mythology Tower invited an initial stage Emperor Realm expert. Using an initial stage Emperor Realm expert to prove the effects of the elixir was undoubtedly the best choice. Under everyone's anticipation, this initial stage Imperial Realm expert was severely injured. It wasn't fake at all. It was real. Everyone could see it with their divine senses. Now, it's time to witness a miracle. The auctioneer undoubtedly raised the atmosphere of the scene. Would it work? This question would be solved in front of their eyes. Everyone's divine senses didn't move as they stared at this initial stage Emperor Realm expert. Was the blood replenishing pill really that powerful? After the blood replenishing pill, every move of the Imperial Realm expert was watched by everyone. Then, the eyes that were originally filled with disbelief gradually recovered as his aura recovered. Everyone was amazed at this moment. Chapter 570. The miraculous recovery ability of the blood replenishing pill instantly defeated all their doubts. They couldn't believe that there was such a miraculous pill in this world. They had never seen or heard of it before. What happened in front of them made them realize the miraculous effect of the blood replenishing pill. The blood replenishing pill has a heaven-defying and miraculous recovery ability. What are you still hesitating for? With the blood replenishing pill, you'll have another life. It's one of the essential pills when you're outside. Today, we'll be auctioning 3 sets of 10 bottles each. The starting price for each set is 1 billion true essence crystals, and each increase is 50 million. Each box had their eyes on the blood replenishing pill. 70% recovery. Such a heaven-defying recovery ability. I must get it no matter what, as long as the family's alchemist can decipher it. Haha, with this blood replenishing pill and my body refinement, it's like adding wings to a tiger. I must get my hands on this blood replenishing pill. This trip was really worth it. Just the blood replenishing pill alone has such a miraculous effect. The potential breaking pill and emperor breaking pill will definitely have unimaginable effects. I must get it. The Myth Tower must have an ancient recipe. These pills are refined using an ancient recipe. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to refine such a divine ability. The gossip outside is indeed true. While everyone was pondering, someone immediately made a move. I bid 1 billion. Someone spoke, and the price of the blood replenishing pill soared. 1 billion 1, 22 billion 2, 3 billion 2, 53 billion. In just a moment, the price of a set of blood replenishing pills had risen from 1 billion to 3 billion yuan crystals. It was a huge leap in history. It could be said that no pill could be auctioned at such a price unless it was a top-grade pill. 3 billion going once. 3 billion going twice. 3 billion going thrice. This set of blood replenishing pills belongs to box 14. The first set of pills was bought for 3 billion yuan crystals. Everyone else was stunned. They had clearly been defeated by the opponent's strategy. Everyone in the boxes was filled with regret. The competition for the second and third sets of blood replenishing pills was even more intense. One set was sold for 30 billion yuan crystals, while the other was sold for 43 billion. The auctioneer was grinning from ear to ear. Just the blood replenishing pill alone had created a price of more than 80 billion, which was almost equivalent to a celestial artifact. Husband, this pill auction is actually so profitable. In one of the private rooms, Lin Fei crossed his legs. He didn't seem to be affected by the fact that he had auctioned off 80 billion true origin crystals. Jean Feng was surprised. That's nothing. The blood enrichment pill is cheap now. When they know its effects in the future, it won't be something that can be bought with tens of billions of dollars. Anyway, for them, what they have is wealth and mineral veins. There's nothing to feel bad about. Lin Fei ate the ice blue fruit. If we auction it like this, don't we have to worry about people cracking it? Lin Jiqing was also there. I've taken a look at these forces. They've all brought their alchemists here. What if they're unraveled? Lin Fei curled his lips. Could they crack it? Another 10,000 years. This level of elixir came from the system store. Even Lin Fei didn't know what the formula was, and they wanted to crack it? In their dreams. Previously, when preparing for the auction, Lin Fei tried to analyze it. Unfortunately, whether it was the blood enrichment pill or the other 2 elixirs, their medicinal effects were very complicated. Logically speaking, Lin Fei's divine sense was tyrannical. He could distinguish the classification and slowly crack it, but the result was still no result. He couldn't crack it himself. Alchemists? Was it possible? Lin Fei didn't believe that they had the ability to do so. Even if it was really cracked, Lin Fei had nothing to worry about. In the system store there were countless elixirs. Any 3 of them would be enough to defeat them. The most important point, Lin Fei didn't say it. It was unknown whether the ingredients for refining the blood enrichment pill existed on this continent. What if there wasn't? Lin Fei didn't doubt this possibility at all. The auction was still going on. After the blood enrichment pill was the first shot, the potential pill and breaking emperor pill were all auctioned at a very high price. In one night, the 3 elixirs were auctioned off for a total of more than 400 billion true essence crystals. It could really be considered a mountain. Tens of millions of true essence crystals were enough for a small clan to cultivate. A few 100 billion true essence crystals were enough to sustain a rank 7 or rank 8 sect for a few years. The first auction of the Mythology Tower was relatively successful. Some people were happy because they had successfully bought the elixirs. Under the protection of professionals, they left directly, afraid that they would be targeted. There were also people who were dispirited. All of them had failed in the auction. When the news spread, those who originally had doubts and disbelief all believed it. Following that, the 10 extra slots for the auction became the target of everyone's competition. The number kept rising, and there was almost no sign of it stopping. A few days later, the miraculous effects of the blood enrichment pill spread. The treasured son of a sect was seriously injured in a battle and nearly died. At the crucial moment, he consumed the blood enrichment pill and recovered 70% of his injuries. Instead, he killed his opponent. When this news spread, it caused another uproar. Everyone realized that the appearance of the blood replenishing pill was equivalent to a protective Dharma treasure for some people. In Sin Paradise's black market, the price of a bottle of blood enrichment pill rose to 3 to 4 billion, but there was still no one selling it. As for the other 2 elixirs, their prices were also shocking. The influence of the Mythology Tower was rapidly expanding. Ding! Congratulations, player, on obtaining 100,000 sect reputation points. Ding! Congratulations! You have obtained 300,000 sect reputation points. The first auction was a success. The veritable essence crystals were a small gain. More importantly, Lin Fei gained a large amount of reputation in the sect system. As his influence expanded, his reputation points increased. It was equivalent to everyone knowing about the existence of the Mythology Tower. In a short period of time, Lin Fei's reputation points had already reached 10 million. This speed had slowed down significantly, and it seemed like it had reached a certain saturation point. Lin Fei wasn't too worried. Time would prove everything. In a few days, the elixirs would become popular again. Lin Fei had already arranged for people to head to other empires to sell these elixirs. Of course, he wouldn't sell them in batches, but in batches. A single spark could start a prairie fire. The blood enrichment pill and the other 2 elixirs would also blossom rapidly. Sin Paradise was a famous black market in the continent. When elixirs became popular, people would definitely search for them. Naturally, they would find the Mythology Tower. Now that the Mythology Tower had become popular, there were naturally many powers that wanted to cooperate with them. For example, selling elixirs. There were even some powers that targeted the future of these elixirs and tried to get Lin Fei to share the elixir recipe with them. As for these fellows, Lin Fei only had one word for them: scram. Scram as far as possible, lest he decided to kill them all. Young Master Lin, someone is outside. He claims to be an agent of Sin Paradise. Just as Lin Fei was thinking about how to raise the sect from grade 2 to grade 1, a subordinate entered. The title, Young Master Lin, was actually an order from Lin Fei. The title of Tower Lord wasn't pleasant to the ears. There was always a sense of pressure. However, Young Master was different. Invite him to the guest room. After the subordinate left, Lin Fei stood up and narrowed his eyes. I thought you guys would be able to sit still. The blood enrichment pill, potential breaking pill, and emperor breaking pill. With these 3 elixirs successfully auctioned, Lin Fei knew that Sin Paradise would definitely make a move. Everything was as he had guessed. Sin Paradise had arranged for an agent so quickly. Lin Fei wanted to know what Sin Paradise wanted. If they thought that he could crush them easily, then they were gravely mistaken. He would let them know the meaning of regret. The guest room was decorated elegantly, giving off a high-class feeling. When will your tower lord be here? Song Fei had been in for a while, but he still hadn't seen Lin Fei's figure. His tone was a little unhappy. I really don't know. The person who delivered the tea had a helpless expression. At this moment, Lin Fei's voice sounded. My apologies. I had some matters to attend to. I'm late. I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Song Fei didn't believe Lin Fei's words. With a straight face, he said, Tower Lord Lin, you're quite arrogant. Clearly, he had disregarded Lin Fei's previous words. Lin Fei chuckled. If I wasn't arrogant, wouldn't any Tom, Dick, or Harry want to step on my head? You should know that the Myth Pavilion has been receiving too many random people recently. If I don't put on airs, they won't know what they should and shouldn't do. Song Fei could easily tell that Lin Fei was being sarcastic. He thought to himself, this kind of country bumpkin isn't worth arguing with. Tower Lord Lin, I'm here on behalf of Sin Paradise today. I want to discuss a few matters with you. Song Fei's tone changed. All right, speak. I'm listening. Lin Fei sat down lazily, seeing that Lin Fei didn't take him seriously. Song Fei's eyes flashed with anger. However, he endured it in the end. If your Myth Pavilion wants our higher-ups' protection, you must hand over the 3 ancient recipes. Hand over the ancient recipes. Your table manners are really unsightly. Lin Fei didn't wait for the other party to finish speaking. He immediately interrupted him to express his dissatisfaction. Aren't you afraid of being laughed at? Tower Lord Lin, this is the higher-ups' intention. I'm just a messenger. Song Fei said indifferently. This is just one of the requirements. Say no more. Lin Fei interrupted him again. I'll have to trouble you to go back and tell the higher-ups that if you want to discuss, do it yourself. Don't try to negotiate with me. If you anger me, I'll just leave Sin Paradise. Song Fei originally wanted to use words to suppress Lin Fei. However, he didn't expect Lin Fei to counter him the moment he opened his mouth. Leave. That's impossible. Song Fei was very clear of the higher-ups' intention. They had sent him here today to test him. If Lin Fei agreed, they had other methods. The only thing he didn't expect was that Lin Fei wouldn't give him any face. Wasn't he worried that the higher-ups would get angry? Flatten your Myth Pavilion? I'm the representative this time. You can negotiate with me. There's no need to trouble the higher-ups. Song Fei said with a sullen face. Lin Fei stood up. You? You don't have the qualifications to negotiate with me. I'll give you 1 day. Tell the higher-ups that you can either negotiate on your own or we can leave. In any case, I have nothing to lose. After speaking, he turned and left, ignoring Song Fei. You. Song Fei quickly stood up with an ugly expression. Lin Fei wasn't worried at all. He stopped and said, I'll still say the same thing. If you want to negotiate, arrange someone with more weight. As for you, you're not qualified at all. If you're not from that side, don't even think about making me come out to meet you.